warte, ich genau.
Warte nicht. Hallo? Dann hört mich, oder? Warte nicht.
Ja. WLAN aus. Spielt das auf meiner Tastatur?
Du bist müde, denn ernst?
Ja. Wir haben voll wenig geschlafen, warum?
Das hast du wenig geschlafen.
Ja. Ich schlafe meistens, wenn ich um 1 ins Bett gehe, schlafe ich trotzdem dann bis 10. Ich bin bei Freunden. Wie viel Punkte hast du? So, ja, ich hab so 23.
Ja, auf dem Darkfish-Account habe ich 323.
Ich gehe in welche mit.
Zu dem Haus.
Yep. Er ist so gleich mit mir geflogen. Ah ne, die gehen. Doch, sag ich doch. Wollen wir trotzdem hin? Ja. Soll ich mit dir oder ins andere? Ah, der ist Sounded gelandet.
Du musst kurz Kills ja noch behauntet, gell?
Ja.
Oh mein Gott, ich hab Best. Du gönn dir mal mein Loot.
Ich hab nur ein Infanteriegewehr.
Gönn dir mal mein Loot.
Kann ich. Was looten?
Einmal mein Loot an.
Ja, ich guck auf den Looten vorweg.
Von uns oder vor dir direkt?
Direkt vor mir. Bin tot. Hilfe. Gib mir ein Bandy. Er hat meine Chest geöffnet, was ein Opfer. Meine Chest. Darf ich die Tag von ihm haben? Kann ich die haben?
Guck dir mein Loot an, dann weißt du.
Wo ist der?
Er hat ihn getötet.
Wo liegt der Loot?
Die Waffen habe ich liegen lassen.
Ich halte mich jetzt kurz. Kann ich ein bisschen Stunde haben?
Aber welche mein Main-Spot ins Auge gewinnen. Aber lass den chillen, der andere muss kommen und seine Karte nehmen.
Darf ich?
Der andere muss herkommen und seine Karte nehmen. Oh.
Ich habe halt nur ein Sturmgewehr und ein Infanteriegewehr. Infanteriegewehr auch, wenn ein gutes Aim hat damit. Gegner. Da vorne. Oh, da ist einer gerade gelaufen irgendwo. Könnten wir machen, doch. Er baut ab. In einem Baum, er hat mich nicht gesehen. Hab ihn. Boah, Digga, der Laser.
Ich hab ihm 33er Blue und 80er Hit gegeben. Hier. So One-Shot.
Ich habe ihm voll den Laser gegeben noch. Normalen Hit und einen Headshot.
War das White?
Ne, der normale Hit war Blue. Ne, war alles White, ja.
Hey,
Sorry. Wer hat ihn gekillt? Hä?
Wer hat die One-Shot geschossen?
Ich konnte die Kleider einfach nicht aufheben,
Wer
Leute.
hat besseres Aim?
Ja, ist gut, Junge. Chill mal dein Leben ab. Hier hinten ist die blaue.
Die nehme ich. Hab keinen Heal, hab kaum Mats, kein guten Loot, keine Pump-Muni.
Metz können wir splitten, komm.
Ja, das macht man.
Leg. Ein paar Muni habe ich. Kann ich dir 2 geben hier. Warte, Metz.
Hast du Euermut?
Ja, kann ich dir auch geben.
Hast du Sniper-Muni?
Sniper habe ich keine, ne.
Hast du die Zone?
Nein. Jetzt.
Hast du noch hier?
5 Bandys, ja. Kann ich dir geben.
Nehmen.
Ich gebe dir 3.
Oh, bist du nicht.
Du brauchst nur 3.
Ja, das war die Zone. Ich glaube, dann nehme ich mir die erst.
Ja, du hast ja aufgehoben, oder?
Ja, hab ich.
Die Zone weit. Ja, geht.
Ich schon noch was.
Ja. Ich hab 1100 Metz.
1100.
Ja.
Du hast ein bisschen mehr als ich, aber nur 20 mehr hast.
Ich hab 500, 300, 300.
500, 360, 230.
Ja, dann ungefähr gleich.
Was ist da?
Ja, da wird gebaut.
Eben.
Nee, aber. Kann ja sein, dass da noch welche sind.
Ich springe mal wieder, dann höre ich das selbst.
Das sind Stinknates.
Okay, wäre üblich schlau. Zipline welche vor uns, Bro.
Nein? Ah, da.
Langsam weiter. 3 Bannys haben perfekt gereicht.
Ja, ach was. Du warst auf 30. 3 Bandys geben 65. Nee, gar nicht. 15 sind 30, 45, so.
Geht mir dann.
Ja, bei dem Loot Drop sind welche.
Da, und welche?
Da sind welche.
Links, ich hab links geblockiert.
Da sind welche. Oben. Da oben auf dem Berg sind welche und da rechts sind welche.
Überall 3 Gegner schon wieder. Das kann
Die von
anschießen.
Berg links sind jetzt runter zu Loot Lake.
Kein anderer anschießen. Lass den richtigen Blut und die alle abstauben.
Aber rechts von uns sind dann noch die von Loot Drop. Die könnten von hinten kommen dann. Dann wären wir im Sandwich.
Hier ist nicht mein Loot Drop.
Nein, der ist weggegangen. Der Loot Drop, der war da.
Wir müssen so oder so hier runter. Ich könnte einen lasern.
Guck doch.
Ich könnte einen lasern.
Mach, wenn du denkst.
Siehst du den einen da?
Ja.
Der müssen wir zusammen pushen. Die fighten halt. Lass mal hier links außen rumlaufen.
Wir können dann auch mit Infanterie drauf rauen.
Aber nur im Hinterhalt halt. Hinterhalt. Nur so ein paar einzelne Hits abgeben. So zum Beispiel. Dann haben wir
Pass
einen-
auf, Snipe von links.
Links. Links vor uns. Ja. Eigentlich habe ich gar keinen Bock auf den Fall. Weil ich auch so wenig Leben habe. Oh, direkt vor uns. Ich muss einen abstauben.
Wollen wir weg? Ja, ich bin in dem scheiß Windkackteil, also. Hä? Wie? Wo? Hä? Ah, hier. Hab Edit auf ihn. Hab einen.
Sei weg! Alter, noch
Ich hab ihn genockt.
Nice,
Lass einfach weg. Lass weg.
runter.
Ja, okay.
Lass den Finish. Der Mate geht auch mit, oder? Der Mate? Ey! Der Mate ist bei mir.
Finished.
Kannst du kommen? Er hat eine 20
Wo? Ich komme hier nicht raus.
Ich sag, komm mit. Nein, er kommt nicht mit. Weil es Mates ja nicht machen. Lächerlich.
Ja, sei doch zu froh, sei doch zufrieden.
Man erkennt keine Gegner.
Ja, einen anderen habe ich nicht. Entschuldigung. Ich muss gleich Kuchen holen gehen.
Wenn man eine Aim-Sense ein bisschen creative spielt, bei 1v1, damit ich meine Aim-Sense finde, weil ich habe keine Aim-Sense.
Lass sie doch auch mal so, wenn du eine gute
Aber
hast.
die ist nicht gut gewesen. Hast du eine Buse nicht? Robin auch, ja.
Wir haben wenigstens keine Minuspunkte in der Runde zuvor gemacht.
Ich finde das auch viel zu hart, immer die ganze Zeit so viele Minuspunkte.
Ja, das ist echt scheiße. Ja, ich bin im Wasser geflogen und bin trotzdem voll hoch.
Nein, Solo.
Lass hier vorne hin.
Ich glaube, ich habe nur Solo gesehen.
Ich habe mich ablenken lassen, weil ich was Tolles gesehen habe. Okay, ich komme zurück. Passt schon. Bin safe. Nice.
Und Granatwerfer, ich hab die ab. 3 Granatwerfer kills im Raum.
Wen schießt du? Ey, hier oben liegt die blaue John Wick Waffe für dich.
Ich hab ja einen mitkommen sehen, aber wo ist der? Das ist was nicht.
Hier sind Shadow Bombs.
Ist das von jemandem oder? Nur wieder mit abfahren. Ah, ja, ist der besser, aber ich hab ihn nicht gesehen. Oh, die Drum Gun und die Zone.
Nein,
Zone und Attack.
ich brauche nur noch einen Tech, dann habe ich eigentlich ganz guten Loot.
Attack und
Ich habe eine Drum Gun, das reicht
hab
jetzt
ich
schon.
auch einen.
Blaues Sturmgewehr. Oben ist Heavy Sniper.
Ja, oder willst du die haben?
Was?
Willst du die haben?
Ja.
Komm, lass los.
Wir können ja auch mal tauschen. Warte hier oben. Gönn dir die Shadow Bombs und einen Slurper.
Ich kann das nicht mitnehmen.
Nein, drück's dir. Dann drück dir wenigstens den Slurper, dann bist du full. Wir haben kaum Metz, du hast kaum Leben.
Kaum Leben, 150 Leben ist kaum.
Nee, aber du
Ich
hast...
kann von keiner Pump gewonshot werden. Kannst du kaum? Kannst du kaum. Okay. Und ich meins.
Werden abgeschossen. Wohin? Unbedingt noch eine Pump. Also klar, dass du markierst, dass ich hier lande, dass du dir den Stein gönnen kannst. Echt?
Ja,
Double Snipen.
deswegen habe ich mir auch. Ich wollte eigentlich da unten, aber ich habe was wieder das gesehen.
Komm dann auch einfach gleich.
Nein, wir gehen jetzt mit dem Wind. Da war nichts, aber nur die Handys.
Ja, aber Stein.
Wenn der Gegner kommt. Wir snipen einfach irgendwie random welche in die anderen. Geht das hier?
Wo? Komm.
John Wick.
Alles.
Hä? Ich bin nicht drauf.
Fußballskin auch noch, ne? Fußballskin ist auch noch.
Sind die unten drin?
Ne, der baut oben.
Der Fußballskin.
Ja, der baut oben.
Hat er den nicht drauf? Aber ich verstehe es nicht. Der John Wick ist nicht gut.
Wo ist Fußballskin jetzt? Ah, da. Standen
Der
beide.
Fußballskin hat einen Heavy Sniper. Wo ist der unten? Bei der Fokus 9 mir. Kannst du jetzt snipen, weil ich bait ein, okay? Ich bait ein, dann kannst du snipen.
Der hat John Wick baut hoch. John Wick kommt runter auf dich.
Ja, das war ja früh gecallt.
Ich hab's gar nicht
Geh einfach
gesehen.
Weg, geh einfach weg.
Okay.
Übel schnell gecallt.
Ich hab's gar nicht gesehen.
Bester Call.
Spiel du doch weiter. Du weiterspielen. Sagst halt, lass ich dich spielen. Das heute möchte ich aber ungern. Ich will doch keine Pump. Es war so eine gute Runde. Soll ich zu Chester? Tristan. Hallo. Ja, okay, dann brauchst du aber auch dich mit ihm zu spielen, wenn du mir nicht callen kannst. Du bist der Bessere, du musst mir helfen. Warum willst du denn überhaupt bei mir übernachten, wenn du nicht mehr mit ihm reden möchtest? Geht mir auch so. Du lädst mich jetzt in eine Party ein. Wieso connectet nicht? Warum connectet da nichts?
Hallo.
Warum connectet?
Der Livestream.
Warum hat da nichts connected? Kannst du mir das mal sagen? Nee, ganz ehrlich, ich hab keinen Bock mehr von dich schlecht das.
Nein, Leon ist in die Party gekommen. Ich dich deswegen auch eingeladen. Er hat die ganze Zeit deinen Livestream gesehen.
Wer?
Leon.
Toiletten lecker, Alter.
Leon, kommst du rein? Ich bin creative. Ich muss meine Sensi finden.
So schlecht mir Vater bestimmt neu starten. So ein Ding wird das sein. Nein, muss ich nicht. Ich muss nicht. Ich muss es nicht. Oh, geil. Nick? Talentiert, muss man zugeben.
To get to that New York City final. Man, very tough spread here. We have to see again. We're getting
Welche Runde?
wire here, guys. This is coming down to these final few moments. Now that we take a look at these replays,
Nick, Digga. Bester Mann.
take a look at the social wall, because as you guys know, I love interacting with you
Nick
guys.
steht Arena,
Incredible things like
Triss,
crazy feet
dann mit Triss,
from Zavira.
300+ Punkte.
Hope I said your name right. If I did not, I am so sorry. I can't wait to see Benji
Also er will unbedingt Champion kommen.
the Fortnite World Cup, and it's going to be great. Cup. Thanks for the minigame while we waited.
Liquid Tay wants a rematch, Z. That might be something you can win.
Zemus Prime, are we on for rock, paper,
Nö.
scissors match today? You know we are. In fact, we're gonna go to break.
Was ist, Junge, Alter?
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. All right.
Ja.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Oh.
Very simple. Hashtag Fortnite World Cup. Tag me and
Tschüss.
Nick.
Junge, was? Alter.
Nick. Oh, ich mach's ja kaputt fürs Video. Entschuldigung. Für den Livestream.
Sieht das scheiße aus, ja.
Das ist lustig mit der Burger.
Warte, das sieht geil aus. Warte.
Komm, wie geil ist das? Nein, du! Jetzt okay, hallo.
Wie lange hast du gespielt?
Toilettenlecker, was geht ab?
Ja, ich fand's halt scharf.
Toilettenlecker, magst du denn immer?
Und jetzt heißt, Nick heißt für mich Muschi lecker und du hast mich Schotzutscher.
Fick dich einfach von hinten durch. Spaß. Ja, dein Lachen ist genauso hässlich wie du aussiehst. Ey. Spaß.
Schnauze, schwicke Mädchen. Okay, Spaß.
Ja!
Digga, Triss guckt mich die ganze Zeit einfach nur dumm an.
Leon, wie findest du und hast du die eine geklärt auf dem Fußballturnier?
Ja, Mann.
Wirklich?
Ich weiß ein bisschen,
Nein.
wie man das geschafft hat.
Gar keiner.
Toilettenlecker 3.
Gehen wir
Muschi
wollen wir
lecker
Location
sieben.
Map spielen?
Muschi lecker.
Nee.
Stonewalls, let's go!
Muschi lecker.
Was?
Muschi lecker, was machst du denn? Muschi lecker.
Gib dir keine Antworten auf die Kacke, du Spastenficker, Alter.
Du hast gehört, wer dich gleich hat, Leon.
Hä?
Er hat gesagt, du bist ein. Was hast du gesagt? Du bist
Spastenficker.
ein Spastenfotzenficker oder so.
Spastenficker, habe ich gesagt. Und ich hole mir jetzt gleich meinen Kuchen.
Oh, hast du
Ja.
gehört, Leon? Er holt sich gleich seinen Kuchen. Das komm einfach. Komm,
Sag einfach nicht so ab, Driss.
komm
Wie
bitte
wär's-
kurz in die Map, bevor du dir deinen Kuchen holst.
In welche?
In die Songwars Map.
Ach, die.
deswegen, ja, da. Aber bitte hol dir nicht deinen Kuchen, sonst kriegt Leon wieder Angst, okay? Gell, Leon?
Ja.
Ja,
Und
jetzt
bitte nicht die Donauwelle.
mal ganz ehrlich, hör so Scheiß zu machen, Driss.
Hä, was machen wir? Ah,
Er will bei mir übernachten. Oha, 4000.
Small. Jetzt bin ich aber tot.
Oh.
Oh nee, ich hasse dieses.
Hey, das haben wir bekommen.
Fick dich.
Hab Inventar notiert.
Oh nee, kein Lex bitte. Bitte keine Lex jetzt.
Ich muss einfach in den High Ground.
Ja, bitte auf 500 Metz.
Yep.
Oh, Digga. Man merkt wieder, dass ich schlanke Fortnite gespielt habe. Ohne Witz.
Sparen, ne? Sparen. Wer baut hier schon wieder die Skybase mit einem Bogen, Digga?
Au.
Nick.
Digga, das ist One-Shot. Hallo, Leon?
Hey, Digga. Nee, Digga.
So, was mach ich? Hat da jemand Minis getrunken?
Ich kann nicht bauen.
Wir Mädchen.
Ich muss hier weg. Ich nehme uns beide mit. Ja, ich gewinne. Let's go. Ich hol jetzt einen Kuchen.
Nur wegen Bogen.
Ja, Entschuldigung, was kann ich denn dazu?
Ja, nichts, wenn du nicht gut bist.
Entschuldigung.
Leon, nein, Leon. Ja, ja. Leon, du holst dich einen Kuchen. Was willst du? Donauwelle. Leon, er holt seinen Kuchen.
Oh, nein. Nein.
Oh, ich hab einen Rifty-Bots. Leon, Leon, du blöde Arsch.
Kappa.
Ich habe besser 90s auf PC als du auf Controller. Oh, geht falsch an. Ja!
Nein!
Genug. Leon. Leon?
Nein.
Leon? Leon?
Nein.
Wolltest du dir eine klären auf dem Turnier? Wer wollte
Ich hab mir voll Triss gekillt. Ich hab Triss gekillt.
Enes wollte eine wohl gehen.
Ja, Mann.
Hat er es geschafft?
Ja, Mann.
Okay.
Mann.
Weil ich stirb schon direkt wieder, Niklas. Bist du ein Fallschaden sterben oder hast du nur den gehört?
Ey, hör auf. Nein.
Hä?
Ja!
Was? Nicht kommt?
Hä?
100.
Hä?
100. Ja,
Und
nicht, weil du
mein
schlecht
Gott.
bist. Oh, er hat den Torch. Tristan, hallo. Er holt seine Torte. Tristan, aufpassen.
Wirklich?
Ich will sagen. Ja, die wird. Die, ja. Hat gerade gesagt. Holt seine Torte. Löffel ihm, gell? Holt seine Torte. Tristan, ich hab dich. Lecco mio. Da will ich mich ja falsch abstellen.
Nein, so ein Schaden. Oh, 120er. Bam!
Trotzdem Bumm für mich. Ey, Digga, leck mich. Kannst du mir haben. Wo ist eigentlich wieder dieser Nick da? Fuck mich am meisten ab. Nick.
Wenn du mich jetzt wieder tötest.
Ah, ich hab dich getötet.
Du hast schon wieder getötet. Kriegst du dafür immer einen Kill oder was? Ey, ich muss mein Inventar.
Lecker!
Ey, ich muss mein Inventar sortieren, der tötet mich einfach.
So, nicht mehr reden.
Leon.
Ich hab einfach das gaggert. Nein. Nick, ist das wieder ready? Nick.
Ich bitte am Anfang Inventar.
Ich esse meinen Kuchen, Junge.
Mich Inventar sortieren lassen am Anfang, okay? Leon.
Ah, okay. Schwer gekillt.
Ey, Leon. Das ist einfach zu krass, gell?
Mhm.
Ich sortiere
Und
mein
ich
Inventar.
bin tot. Wie
Jetzt
viel
bin ich
Damage
bereit.
zu machen?
Ich weiß.
Ja. Versuch doch in die Sonne zu kommen, ne? Mein Freund. Also,
Ah ja, Karma. Ah ja.
dann du kannst die Kamera. Ja. Es ist Leon, ich hab dich gehört.
Lecker.
Ja, ich hab Karma kassiert.
Ich bin's. Maximal los, Nick. Aha. Bin ich einfach gut. Wenn ich dich ja wieder kill, ne? Oh Nick, du bist jetzt wieder ready.
Nö.
Scheiß mal auf deine Torte, bisschen dicken. Was?
Okay, ich esse auf meine Torte, ich esse auch meinen Kuchen.
Ah, Junge, was isst du alles?
Kuchen.
Au. Ey, Leon.
Was? Nein! Ey, du Pflanzenfresser.
Du Pflanzenfresser.
Hat einen Laser bekommen, der Leon. Muss der Leon
Fresse.
Hallo?
Ui.
Nein! Triss, das fuckt mich gleich wieder ab. Ne? Oh mein Gott. Du fuckst mich wieder ab, Triss. Könnte ich hier wieder in eine Stelle gehen?
Hab ich auch nie. Er tötet mich
Wo ist
wieder.
er? Nick.
Ja, hab ich mir getötet, der ist einfach gut.
Ja, warum kriegt er immer den Kill?
Ja, weil du schlecht bist.
Ich hab einen Raketenwerfer. Ja,
Ich habe einen Nade Launcher, aber ich benutze nicht.
Nein!
Junge,
Was ein ehrenloser Bastard, ey.
Ja, er hat Raketenwerfer. Ja, sorry.
Raketenwerfer von Highground.
Das ist wie Bogen und Trimax.
What?
War sein letzter Schuss. Oh, 8 HP.
Ich hab eine Sohn, ja!
Nein, sie trifft. Wie viel Leben hast du?
Ach.
Nee, mach
Schollen
das wieder
immer.
weg.
Nee, das merkst du mich im Schollen.
Oh, lol.
Leon, ich bin nicht mal normal. Ich troll die ganze Zeit einfach nur. Leg das mit.
Ich gönn mir meine Torte.
Nee.
Das ist jetzt Live-Test. Die habe ich noch gestern, habe ich die nicht gegessen. Das erste Mal, wo ich jetzt esse.
Ich muss Inventar sortieren. Stopp.
Und sie schmeckt geil. Jetzt ist mit Nate Launchern, Digga. Oh, shit. Wie du die Nate mitgenommen hast.
Nein,
Hä? Es war so
Was
klar,
denn?
dass es kommt. Hä?
Achso. Nick, du spielst jetzt mit.
Nein.
Doch.
Halbe Torte noch, dann bin ich fertig.
Oh, Junge.
Ich esse dabei. Mann, er killt mich schon wieder.
Ich weiß, weil ich einfach gut bin.
Der war der Beste.
Leon, Drischan hat einen Bow.
Ey, nur nicht an mich anschießen. Los, mach ich. Ey, schieß mich wieder an, Digga.
Ich guck Toilettenlecker 3 zu, also den Verlierer.
Ich weiß nicht, vielleicht will ich ihn auch trollen.
Ah, ja. Hey, Digga, langer Partner jetzt mit Hallo. Die Skills wieder am Start. Hey, du kleiner.
Nervig, ne? Nervig. Ich deine Mutter.
Ich will Pickaxen. Nein, ich wollte die Pickaxen.
Oha.
Ich wollte den Pickaxen.
Du bist so schlecht, nein.
Besser oder besser?
Leon,
Ne?
weil das gab ein 1%, wie hat Karma war das?
Was?
Wenn das gab ein 1%, wie hat Karma war das eben?
Keine Ahnung. 50, ne?
Ist so.
Und Nick ist wieder ready.
Ja.
Der Bot 3000 schon wieder mit.
Aber ich muss auch Inventar sortieren.
Bot 3000 schon wieder mit. Everybody bot now. Ja. Ja.
Huch!
Wieder los. Hallo Leon.
Hey,
Geht's
Sieger.
dir? Niklas, manchmal war das nicht toll. Ey Leon, Aimen muss gelernt sein.
Was eigentlich Nick, der kleine Dosen?
Hi Nick.
Mann, lass mich doch
Hat er
drin.
wieder kaum Schild, der Niklas?
Was? Ich habe gar kein Schild mehr, du Opfer. Doch eins. 1 HP.
Hier, Leon, ich war ganz böse.
Ich weiß.
Sei mal nicht so frech.
Geht Leon, sei mal nicht so frech. Geht er wieder direkt 2 Hits. Achtung, der pusht dich. Leon!
Nein, ey, so ein Hure so. Ne, ohne Witz, ich box ihn gleich.
Push mich, Bruder. Push mich.
Der ist so schlecht. Der hat 101 Zoll Schäden.
Ghoster. Nein! Zone! Ghoste doch! Ghoste doch!
Was hast du jetzt gemacht?
Alter! Leon, du kleiner Piep,
Leon, hast du mit dem ich die ganze Zeit
Okay, ich esse wieder Kuchen. Nee, mache ich nicht, aber ich spiele nicht mit.
Warum? Warum?
Ja, ich esse keinen Kuchen, aber ich spiele nicht mit.
Warum ist geil?
Hört doch auf, Kuchen zu essen. Kuchen ist giftig.
Warum tötet Leon immer Dresden? 31er.
Ja, gut ist.
Stimmt.
So, im so wie im Fußball oder was? Was für gut, Digga. Das Wort gut kennt Leon, glaube ich nicht.
Ja, aber du, gell?
Ja, das One-Shot.
Man wollte alle auf mich gehen. Unfähig. Und der Schimmel liegt da ist irgendwo auf dem
Ach du Scheiße.
Deine Meinung.
Ich? Ich habe eigentlich die viel bessere Posi. So viel zum Thema, ich habe die bessere Posi.
Du musst da hoch da.
Ja, ich weiß.
Oh, Highground, Isa.
Da steht noch ein Rocket Bus.
Oh.
Markart.
Ja, wer muss jetzt Metz verbauen und wer nicht?
Mhm.
Boah, Digga!
Ich würde einfach runterschießen. Hä? Achso.
Erstmal das Respekt,
Wie geht die Zone?
wenn ich jetzt verliere.
Ach so! Ich dachte, die Zone geht anders. No! Ich muss nicht sagen, ich kann die Zone nicht. Du kennst die Map. Nee, jetzt spiele ich nicht mehr mit. So.
Ach, Nick.
Doch, ich spiele nicht mit. Ihr kennt die Map, das ist unfähig.
Hä?
Was sagen. Nö. Das sehe ich gar nicht an.
Nick, jetzt halt eine Frage. Was hast du eigentlich gerade für ein Problem?
Deine Torte.
Nö.
Ja, Lea, du hast dich getötet.
Ich weiß.
Du bist nicht mehr gut. Nick,
Ja.
was hast du eigentlich für ein Problem? Ah,
Ja, komm, fick mich wieder.
no smoke.
Ey, die scheiß Zone, ne? Ohne Witz.
Wollen wir normal machen?
Nee, wir gehen einfach alle raus.
Okay. Also, Map oder aus Creative?
Ja, auf Kreative raus.
Was ist das raus?
Mhm.
Niklas, bist du mit Squad? Squad.
Gut. Da spielt
Nee, du.
er dann der kann Eier spielen, weil er Body hat. Hallo Leon.
Tschüss, Nick.
Okay, fick dich ins Knie, du Huren.
Krass, ich will Gewicht, ne?
Ich lad dich.
Ey, ich kann mitgucken.
Ach, jetzt schon gemerkt, Leon.
Boah, Leon, du Legende.
Danke.
Blitzmecker 3000.
Fresse muss ich lecker 5.
Ja, fick dich, du Huren, so Spaß.
Wir haben einmal als Kategorie den
Ah, nee.
Lettenberger 3
Nee.
und den Muschelecker 5.
Von den Französischer 7. Das bist du, Triss.
Und gerne ist die Klobrille 1 mit rein.
Mhm.
So, bereit.
Wer ist Nick?
Muschelecker 5.
Wer ist Nick? Was? Nick?
Ja?
Bitte, sag was dazu. Zu
Bereit.
der
Wozu?
Verteidigung.
Ja, wozu?
Zu der Verteidigung.
Für was?
Ja, die sagen zu dir immer Muschelecker. 5.
Ja, Muschi lecker, weil ich 5 die Muschi von deiner Mutter geleckt habe.
Was für ein Zeug?
Ey, das ist belastend, dass Tristan mit Free Pass höher im Battle Pass ist als ich mit Battle Pass.
Leon,
Hm.
wir müssen jetzt immer im Podium und Niklas kommen, müssen wir sagen, hallo Muschelecker 5.
Dann gehe ich direkt zum Sascha. Dann gehe ich direkt zum Sascha.
Das ist Spaß.
Das ist kein Spaß. Sowas ist kein Spaß für mich. Das ist mal no joke, das ist scheiße.
Was hat für dich?
Bläh.
Weil dann würde ich Nachtwand.
Bläh. Ja, das könnt ihr machen. Bläh. Bläh.
Wenn ich Muschellecker.
Leon.
Scheiße, ja.
Bläh. Bläh. Bläh.
Toilettenreiniger 7.
Lecker.
Ich gehe jetzt erstmal zu Sascha.
Warum?
Nee.
Weil Niklas
Ja,
wieder böse zu dir.
das ist für mich kein Spaß. Das ist für mich kein
Oh,
Spaß.
Alter.
Er macht dich gerade nach.
Sag das.
Niklas. Checkst du das?
Ja. Yeah.
Niklas? Niklas?
Nee.
Niklas? Achso,
Nee.
du weißt ja gar nicht mehr Niklas. Oder Muschi lecker.
Ich verschlag dich so, egal was ist, ey.
Ja, hör auf und schlägt er mich noch. Muschellecker. Aua, ich wollte was trinken.
Ey, es liegt bei dir. Was? Oh, das ist noch belastender.
Weil Muschellecker neben mir sitzt. Aua, Entschuldigung, Muschellecker 5. Aua,
3, 4, 5 Schläge kriegst du
der
dafür.
Muschellecker 5. Aua, die boxt mich die ganze Zeit.
Tristan?
Ja, der boxt mich die ganze Zeit.
Ja,
Daneben
hoffentlich.
was. Daneben was.
Ey, Muschi lecker.
Ja,
Oh.
schick deine Mutter in der Muschi und leck da noch.
Hä?
Hey, Leo.
Okay.
Das ist ein dummer Gedanke. Und dann denke ich so, hä? Und ich denke mir so, hä? Und Niklas so, renn in die Olga.
Ja.
Wenn ich das nächste Mal...
Niklas,
Ja,
wie schlecht bist du?
Sehr
Skala
schlecht.
von 1 bis 10.
10.
Frag mal, wie schnell er ist.
Okay. Minus 3.
Oh!
Schneller im Bett als du.
Wir meinen Sprinten.
Achso, ja, das.
Ah, du warst ja schon mal im Bett.
Ja, mit deiner
Das kann die
Mutter.
Jungfrau.
Old friend.
Bei mir
Hä?
ist so ein Gegner
Wo
nebenbei.
nicht? Wo nicht? Wo nicht?
Bagdad City Arschloch.
Ich hab seine Ehre gemacht.
Okay. Schon mal falsch.
Wo nicht? In deiner Muschi. Oh.
Nee.
Ich hab jetzt seine Ehre genommen gerade.
Was hast du gesagt?
Nein, mit dem Move gerade. Fortnite.
Achso.
Schlecht! So richtig einen Nick habe ich gerade aus dir gemacht. Ohne Witz.
Find's cool, dass sie mir sogar mein Loot aus meinem Haus klaut.
Bin ich da?
Ah.
Ich hab nichts. Da kommt ein Sturm.
Nick, helf mir doch!
Ne,
Nick, hilf mir doch!
Heul! Haha! Haha!
Nick, wie kannst du das Kamera kommen, ne? Ach, Nick.
Wo willst du leben? Ich hab einen.
Kannst du mir helfen, Tristan?
Bei mir sind 30 Leute.
Komm nicht.
Bei mir sind 3 Leute und ich habe keine Waffe.
Er braucht jetzt sein Karma.
Okay, dann kann ich jetzt auch reinspringen. Ich rette dich, Leon.
Warum nicht mich?
Ich rette dich.
Ich glaube, will ich von dir gerettet werden. Oder Leon?
Ich rette dich, Leon, egal was
Rette
ist.
mich auch! Ey!
Kein bisschen.
Zu viele Gegner dort. Ah, nee. Ich rette dich. Ich schaff das, Leon. Ich glaube an mich, ohne ich sterbe. Nein. Töte mich doch nicht. Oh.
Alter, bist tot!
Ja. Hast du früh gemerkt.
Niklas, Muschellecker. Au.
Richte deine Sachen, verpiss dich zu deiner Muschi lecker, Alter.
Muschi lecker.
Darf ich dich schlagen, Leon?
Muschi lecker.
Niklas.
Ich schlag dich jetzt.
Muschellecker. Au. Meine Sachen. Leon! Geht kaputt, die
Muschi lecker.
Das ist dein Muschi lecker. Digga, dieses Lachen.
Hast du es mitbekommen?
Muschi lecker. Aufhören.
Fick deine Mutter in der Muschi.
Muschi lecker.
Mach jetzt mal einen Highscore.
Niklas, Entschuldigung, Muschi lecker 5. Was haben Sie jetzt vor? Muschi lecker 5. Hallo? Muschi lecker 5. Hallo?
Hallo.
Muschi lecker 5?
Ja.
Wie geht's Ihnen?
Er antwortet noch auf mich, lecker.
Und wie wär's mit Klobrillenlutscher 1, 2, 3? Geht's Ihnen am besten? Und
Was ist das für ein Spiel, Alter? Aber wann kommt der Big Boss?
Leon, er guckt sich Fortnite Highlights an. Wollen wir zusammen Duo spielen?
Dann kannst du aber heimgehen, Drüs.
Ja, du guckst doch so.
Ich will den Boss noch ficken. Was muss ich tun?
Leon, er will offline gehen.
Okay. Mach dann Arena.
Nein, wir spielen da jetzt. Jetzt kannst du heim.
Was?
Schule.
Willst du Muschi lecker 5? Willst du uns verärgern?
Hey, wie kann ich ihn töten?
Muschi lecker 5, willst du uns verärgern?
Wo ist der Niklas?
Wie kann ich ihn...
Muschi Niklas 5.
Hört jetzt auf.
Aber wenn du es bei mir hast, ist alles gut, ne? Ja, ja.
Hey, wie kann ich den Spacki töten?
Ja. Mit deinem Hand.
Oder tötest. Indem du 5 Muschi tötest. Halt doch dein Name, oder?
Muss ich das machen?
Er hängt an einer halben, seit gefühlt einer halben Stunde an so einem scheiß Level.
Wie geht's? Sag's mir.
Ey,
Bro.
lass mal Spielwiese auffüllen machen und vielleicht finden wir ja so einen Dummen, den wir mobben können. Fresse.
Moin.
Komm, Leon, das ist lustig.
Lass aber Spielchat gehen.
Ja. Leon, machst du mit?
Will Spielchat.
Okay, dann let's go. Spielchat. Hallo, Kletten.
Hallo, Kletten.
Aber ich mute dich.
Hallo, Muschi.
Hallo, lecker 5. Ah, der war halt. Aua. Leon. Er hat mich gebockt.
Soll ich mich Muschi lecker 5 nächstes Mal nennen?
Nach Hause.
Soll ich?
Nach Hause.
Nennt mich bitte Nachtwandler. Danke.
Muschi Niklas, Entschuldigung, Muschi lecker 5. Leon, hör auf zu singen.
Laufen.
Tschüss. Wie viele?
Hello, is somebody here?
Ficky, Ficky.
Hello.
Hello.
Und dem Chef.
Hello.
So, Triss gemutet.
Leon.
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 What is happening?
Leon, gib mir wieder Party-Chat. Leon.
Low mir ein.
Leon.
What?
Gib mir wieder Party-Chat, das ist mir zu viel.
War das Creative, was wir gemacht haben, oder Spielwiese? Digga, was ist das für ein Tanz?
FIFA? Wieso FIFA?
Ist Leon gegangen?
Ich will auf FIFA.
Ich werde dafür jetzt ein bisschen Fortnite zu gucken.
Okay, Leon.
Hm.
Niklas möchte offline gehen. Also, das will
Was
nicht mit
laberst
dir
du?
spielen.
Ich will, aber ich habe keinen Bock mehr auf Fortnite.
Er will nicht mitspielen. Okay, tschüss, Leon. Wir sehen uns. Tschüss.
Tschüss.
So, Leon, ich gehe nicht. Wir spielen jetzt Duo, habe ich gehört. Nein. Oh Mann.
Ja! Karma!
Was, Karma?
Darf ich mich auf den Gamerspiel setzen?
Nein.
Wir wechseln uns ab letztes Mal schon. Was ist passiert?
Wir wollen Fortnite gucken, gell?
Naja, aber dann nicht auf die Gamerspiel.
Nein, wir machen uns die Betten.
Ja, okay. Los geht's.
They carried it past the player. So he 180 and one hit him with the combat. That's what I talk about when, like, sometimes I feel like these guys are playing a different game than I am.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
I know for
No,
a fact I can do all of those
That's
things.
not Fortnite. I don't know what that is. But that's not Fortnite. That's some craziness.
It's nuts. These guys pushing the envelope, but Mongrel, speaking of pushing the envelope, not going to pull a Mitro on the dual partner there. Opens the door, gets over onto the side, and is desperately looking for every point he can. Doesn't want any interaction if he can avoid it. Will he find it? 2 HP, and he does! Motor gets taken down. 26 players remaining. Mongrel, that could have been your moment in the box. 2 HP. Erosi gets Aki. That's 2 more points going over for him. That could be huge. That could be it. And now Mongrel on the side of the zone, back up to 75 HP. What can he do with it? Will the siphon and the mats be enough? 70 materials on the side of the zone. 24 players left. Less than 5 minutes left in the queue times. If you want to go to New York City, you show up right now. And unfortunately, Mongrel is out. Let's see if he can get another queue as the rest of the match is now running. Provoked up on the high ground. You see Stompy, Martez also hanging out. Martez trying to take the high ground away, but SB Almond is up there as we hit the second placement threshold. Top 15 now.
Stompy picking up another elimination in the feed. Provoked at 3 eliminations from Fnatic here. Stompy picking up actually another one. Stompy absolutely owning the feed. Provoked trying to box up, stay alive, very edge of the zone. Takes the chance, an opportunity to pop that slurp and get a little bit of a tick. Moves forward, trying to top off the HP. Players fighting underneath him, looking for a chance to establish a base of operations on the move here. And it's going to be difficult. Does get the mini off, though. Looking for players from behind. Very common tactic here. You get into a safe area where even if it might be 3-4 meters, catches someone in the face with that combat shotgun. You look for any chance for a quick whip back, anybody moving in from the outside of the storm, because they're the ones that they're forced to move in. You can't sit out there. And so even if you have 3, 4, 5 feet ahead of them, you can look back and get a shot off and pick up an elimination. 40 seconds left on that European queue. Get in those games if you're going to try and get the last ones in. Quick edit, a peek through. Cubex gets tapped one time, very low. Now you have to remember there's a 60-second window after that damage where if storm damage maybe claims that player gets an elimination, it's going to count for provoked. Dropping in here, 8 players left. Quick swap, shot, back to back, and MQ goes down. Looking for another, players underneath on rotation. Quick headed down, a push in, finds another on the outside. One more, looks for another, gets it. Stompy gets another. 3 eliminations, the triple in the feed, and there's 3 players left. Provoke on the ultimate low ground right now. 1 mini pop, moves all the way to the edge, pops.
First
campfire down.
He's getting pressure from both sides now, and this is the top 3.
Oh.
Can't find the shot. It's aim. Cubex who gets it. That's 52 points for Provoked. And again, each one of these elims, each one of them matters more when you're in these high points lobby. Martaz on the high ground, Cubex on the low ground, 39 to 49 points. Martaz wants to close this out. 27 builds to the 0 of Cubex, and that's going to be it. Martaz closes that one out. 43 points so far. Queue times are closed. The last matches will be coming in, but for now, we're going to throw it back on over to Courage, who's in the studio.
Thank you, gentlemen. Yes, that is it for the queues out in Europe. You see how dramatic it can be in these final moments. We still have more games to bring you. We want to make sure you get caught up to speed on those exact last matches, but I know, Zeke, we've had some things you were taking a look at that you want to show everyone at home.
Yeah, man, let's do this. We've got some cool clips as we make our way into the station. Just some really fun clips that I wanted to take a moment to talk about. Wolfsies, of course, just had a dope flick shot. Look at that, over on Violin, and just absolutely incredible. This is the level of skill. And I just want to highlight his rifling skills and just the way he approaches this fight. He knows the players down below, no builds, and you can just see he's using that brick floor, just ducking behind, making sure it's absorbing as much damage as possible. Airwalks. This is someone for me that I truly believe and I want to see go to the World Cup Finals, especially with the last opportunity. Him and his duo partner Nikov have already qualified in duos, right? We even know his other teammates, Kinstar and Hunter, have also qualified. The difference is that Kinstar right now is the only member from Solary that is qualified for the solo format, and Airwalks is looking to do the same. We're going to watch this incredible spree. Just look at the way he's navigating all this density, right? His game sense and his awareness is on point. He's going to pick up 8 elimination total in this run. Now, unfortunately, he does not end up getting the Victory Royale, but just look at this. He's unbelievable. Once he gets going, it's very difficult for him, for anyone to stop him. Now, we're going to see his untimely demise here. He is going to go and try and challenge a player. He's going to pick them off, and he does get traded back out. Now, keep in mind, though, he did make top 5, so he still got the points from that. Now, Tolecito, we saw this incredible play. I thought this was incredible because he used the flint knock to shut down Mexi up on the high ground. And then just look at the HP from everyone else. He has HP advantage. He's so confident. He's just going to dive down and try and go for the challenge. Even if the player had traded out, he would have been in a pretty good state either way. So it was a pretty good game for these players. I mean, it's finals day. You know everyone's showing up big, making plays.
Insane right there. To have the confidence to drop on down, redeploy. But guys, I'm not going to hold this up. We've got our final games from the European region. Who will make it to the Fortnite World Cup Finals? Let's find out.
Thank you so much, Courage. Also, just want to give a shout out real quick to the guy running the AR wall. Whoever picked the screen that was right there, the way the two lines lined up with the black floor.
That was actually
it looked,
cool.
I was sitting here and I'm like, all right, that's a cool shot. So, you know, hashtag Fortnite World Cup. We give a bunch of love to the observers. Give him some love right there. Great screen. But now we're on board. Again, these are the absolute final matches. Queue times are done. We are in Europe, 8 spots up for grabs for the Fortnite World Cup final. This is your last opportunity. If you are one of the best, you need to prove it right now, or you will not be on that stage. You won't be playing with Tfue, with X2 Jordan, with Stompy, and 6J trying to make a case for being there as he picks up Zegrin and then gets on his rotation.
Absolutely ridiculous. Between games there, while everybody was watching the quick replay analysis, Sundown and I were talking about the different regions and just how certain aspects of each region stand out, and I think it's unanimous agreement that Europe has some of the best technical Fortnite and some of the most aggressive play that I think we've ever seen, and it is so much fun to talk about and so much fun to watch because these players are playing on a level that I don't think you have to imagine back in the day when Fortnite was, you know, it was the battle royale portion was in its, you know, early days. No one imagined the game would get to this. You can't possibly have said, oh yeah, one day we're gonna watch players, you know, the technical skill and building and quickly editing and dropping in through floors and pushing walls and doing all these things, everything that they do. No one would have imagined it was going to come to this, the quick edits and push through Kais and picking up the first Elam. It's things like this. You could not have told me this is what Fortnite was going to evolve into. And you have to admit, whether you love or hate the game, no matter what you think about it, how things have changed and grown is fantastic to see. People are really pushing the technical skill that I think Fortnite has to offer in a way that no one could have predicted.
I mean, it's actually absurd to me, and like I said, I've been able to be a part of the process from playtesting through all of this.
You've been around since the beginning.
Yeah, I've never would have fathomed that players were doing this. I think one of the first things when I saw this, I was like, oh, it's good because you can be aggressive because you can like build at someone in your own cover. You don't just like hide behind a wall and stuff. And now it turns into, instead, these guys are building literal tunnels and mansions and skyscrapers in the span of 2 seconds. I think one of the plays we saw yesterday with the player, one by one, threw a trap down, edited a ramp, and shot all in the span of 0.2 seconds. So I'm like, all right, you're playing a different game than me. Yeah, right there. Sky taking away Yarkos' ceiling with a single shot, double replaces it, double edits down, and then pushes in the space of nearly a half second. He gets it 50, or I was about to say 57, but 60 points now as the top 15 does
literally just take over.
The player gets taken down, and Sky is creeping up into that qualification range. Again, top 8 players will go, and this is the last shot. How they earn the points: top 25 is 3, top 15 is 5, top 5 is 7, the victory royale is 10. Each Elam is 1, and Skype certainly knows that. He's been playing absurdly aggro. If he hits you, he wants to go.
You saw for just a second in there a quick attempt at maybe a heavy sniper shot, but he realized it wasn't loaded, opted back to try and push through the ramp instead. Very quick thinking on Skype's part, the swap out for the combat shotgun instead of the tac. Pretty common there, player looting inside, but Skype more focused on rotation and position, as placement points will be everything for a player that is this close to making it to New York City.
That was so good by him to go around the back side of that building so he could extend the shadow bomb timer up to now get up to the mid tarp. You have Light up on the high ground, 13 up Nay, now just dropping down on the tarp below Skite. So Skite is on secondary high, but he's boxed up right now. Light's gonna begin to work top down as we still have a number of ballers who are going to begin to get shot out as we head towards the second placement threshold. Kinzo gets taken down there, and Light continues to rain shots down onto these ballers, saying, hey, you gotta play Fortnite with the rest of us. Burn your mask, get out of there. Top 15 is on the board. John22 on Twitch picks up Calzo. Uno OG goes down, and Light continues to check his top, make sure he's safe, and then rain shots down. Dalo gets taken out as we get closer and closer to the top 10.
12 players remaining. Light still ultimate high ground. Skype right underneath, and I believe I saw for a moment Benji Fishy was in this game, but it looks like he's been eliminated at this point. Kaizen on the ultimate low ground, going to have to take an opportunity to heal up if possible. 9 players left, and Light is looking for a peak shot on a player in rotation, trying to challenge potentially the high ground. The pyramid of the play underneath kind of signals to me maybe not pushing up just yet, and I think Light realizes that, taking a chance to look down at maybe other players in the move, and yeah, he sees another one. There's a scent of potentially elimination. Light getting challenged for high ground now.
It's Rapti. Rapti's going for it and then drops back down, realizing he's not going to be able to take it. Pops the shadow form and goes all the way down to the far side. We're nearing the top 5. Now, one thing to keep an eye on, look at the points next to the names. 56 on Light, 64 on Skype. This is for a trip to New York City, as Light is able to pick up 59 there. They want everything they can. 6 Shades gets Rapti, but Skype trades it right back out and loops back into the zone. Skype on the edge of the mountain tries to find the jump pad, and he gets it going to the sky. Light trades out Miles on the top, so now 60 to 67 points, but Skype on 55 HP. Light pops the shadow bomb. What's he gonna do? Opts to drop down, so now Skype has to know he's down there. Skype has no mobility. Storm ticks it over. Light gets the Elim credit as well, and that's gonna push him up to 64 as well, so evens it up. We're getting down to the final moment.
Depending on where this was in their games played, we're looking at 64 and 67 players for Light and Skype respectively. That potentially could have been a prevention for Skype to make it to New York City, or pushing Light all the way close enough to qualify if he has a game left. People have to realize these end games, when you see players at those point counts fighting it out for the victory royale, it can mean the difference. We saw it, I think, last week in NA East, a team just literally fighting the last second, the very last match, and the fact that one team took the win is what put them in the placement to make it to New York City.
It was week 6 duos, and it was RBK versus the Cooler Boys. The Cooler Boys, the Cooler Boys ended up winning the 2v2 from the low ground, got the victory royale, and the 3-point difference from the victory royale, not even the elims, was enough to deny the RBK Boys the spot. So when we talk about high impact eliminations, high impact engagements, and everyone mattering, when the queues are closed, these are the last matches on the server, so not exactly live, but about 5 to 10 minutes delayed, you are deciding your trips, you're deciding other people's fates, and these are the moments when you need to clutch up. We've talked about before, you don't have to be the best, but you need to be better than the person across from you. And when you're dealing with the best of the best in a trip to New York City, that's still got to be really good.
Yeah. That's why I'm here behind the desk and not at the game.
I mean, I'm so glad these guys are so good. They make our job so incredibly easy.
And so much fun.
If the gameplay was really difficult, it'd be hard, but it's so hype. You guys are so good. Just shout out again one time, #Fortnite World Cup, to all of the players who have competed in the arena, in the tournaments, on Saturday, on Sunday. Thank you so much for doing this and making incredible plays and giving us this opportunity.
I do want to say too that one of the most common, I think, criticisms of competitive Fortnite is typically, the shots through, kills only, almost finding that Elim, gets one big hit, can't quite find the second. Exotics does pick that Elim up. I was going to say, one of the most common criticisms of competitive Fortnite is, everybody's sitting in 1x1s, not doing anything. You know, it's kind of slow play from time to time. I want them to pull this stream up and watch through these European games. Let us get to NA East and NA West and just how much pressure they apply at times. We literally just saw a player run out, push through a box with a heavy snipe and push inside and get an elimination, feeding into like window edits and shots through there with a combat shotgun. Competitive Fortnite, there's tension, there's action, there's pressure applied from every angle sometimes. You really have to dig in and watch long durations of this to see all the craziness that happens, because people are elevating the gameplay every time we watch it.
There's so many nuances, and I think the best part for me is every single day there's something new somebody is doing to push the envelope.
Yep.
There's always something somebody finds that is able to do, and every patch that comes out, somebody finds a new combination, or there's something that's slightly better, as Excite has now picked up 6 elims in this match. We've seen 3 of them. Woo! We've now seen 4 of them going to work with the legendary AR and the shadow bombs on the rotation, getting himself over to the sides of zones and then posting up and taking shots. You can notice, again, one thing, when you box up on an opponent's material, go over and up a grid space. You never want to be on the same level or one wall away from somebody else. Make them break 2 walls. every single time, always.
You're asking to get pushed quickly if you land side by side, especially if you're about to force a fight for a wall. Sight looking for shots here on players in the rotation. A little bit ahead inside the circle. A rocket coming in a quick close. The close off the edit. Good reset there. He's going to catch it before it blows him up. Looking back behind. Player rotating the outside. He sees the silhouette. Watching for the shot. Takes it. Gets it. Voxy goes down up to 198 total HP and eight eliminations. We're looking at top 15 here. In one more player needs to go down. Sight the forefront of the storm now. Waiting his time. Trying to wait for that shadow bomb to tick out so we can box up.
This is an incredible game so far from Excite. With that pushing over, he's on a 13-point match right now. Let's look at the rest of the lobby. Artur up on the high ground. You have Miko, Lars, Wallboom, Motor, and Zyflare all on the mid-tarp. Rest of the players on the low ground. You see Noodle Kongan just get ticked over from the storm there. Motor going to begin to work top down, sitting on 41 points. Gets the headshot, knows there's white damage there. Player in the box, sees him get eliminated, but he wants to continue moving forward. That was Maxa and Excite, who both just got picked up, and Motor is completely out of builds with no elims. He has to find something or has to find a way to drop down. Luckily, a player building on the tarp beneath sees the shadow bomb drop, and he's going to use the pine tree to not take fall damage. Find Go-Go's on the side, and also gets all of his mats and a med kit on 80 HP. That could be huge. You have the ability with the campfire, but he's dealing with such limited ammunition in terms of the small rounds. Wallboom goes down to Artur, and we get closer and closer to the final placement threshold before the victory royale. Motor opts to pop the campfire early. If he goes to full 100, this could end up being detrimental to him trying to medkit if we go to full heal. However, don't think that's going to happen with 90 seconds left. Antaret gets Miko, and we're into the top 5.
44 points right now for Motor. Pressure from above. Gonna have to box up and wait. See if anybody can make the move. Like you said, a big material pickup just moments ago for Motor, but not enough ammunition to make a difference. Artur on the ultimate high drops down and reconnects quickly. Very important move there. You see he places a couple services and builds his way back up. Quick shotty shot. Anthrax trying to apply pressure. Player drops in, shots on the outside, gets Lars. Gonna have to rotate into the zone quickly as that storm is ticking for 10. 3 players left and pressure from underneath. Anthrax sitting on 2 builds, 15 bandages, but it's not gonna be enough to keep himself safe unless he picks up this elim, maybe some materials. 2 big hits, can't quite find the elimination. Gonna try and get ahead of the build. Shot from above. Pressure from the third party, and Motor picks up that elimination. A 1v1 heads up situation. Motor at a huge disadvantage in the storm, ticking slowly, and Artur sitting on enough builds maybe to apply pressure. Down to 10 now, the drop in, and finds the elimination. Only 2, but it still gets the job done. A 12-point victory royale pushes Artur to 42 points thus far.
And again, don't forget, with the prize pool being doubled this week, even if you don't get one of those qualification spots there, the money is doubled in every single one of the placements. So each one of those interactions could be the difference in a little bit of a bigger paycheck. But now we're swinging right on board over towards one of the snowy biome areas in Happy Hamlet. 38 players in this match.
I think Happy Hamlet's worthless.
And what's it like? As in you don't like the drop spot,
no,
or
terrible.
as in like the town like shouldn't have ever been developed?
I think that they have outdated laws about leashing your dogs, and I also think that the loot positioning is poor. I do not like Happy Hamlet. If you agree with me, hashtag Fortnite World Cup.
All right, hashtag Fortnite World Cup. What is your favorite solo drop spot? I know Lupo's is a not Happy Hamlet, so what's your favorite solo spot? What's your current solo drop spot?
My go-to typically is going to be, okay, so there's a little pirate camp in the southwest of Pressure Plant that before the volcano went off, that's where I was consistently dropping. Recently, though, because of the changes, I really like Valhalla. I like the dance club. If I'm dropping solos and I'm not going for, like, because there's a different play style.
Competitive, super serious, ultra World Cup qualifier, where are you dropping solos?
I'll go Valhalla, and if that's contested, I'll fly past the Snobby.
Okay, cool.
I like that west side of the map, typically because it is not often challenged. You have so many opportunities for rotation. And the only problem is, like, you have the rocket base that now is kind of decayed a little bit to the northeast of Snobby. You have Valhalla that's up there. That you have a lot of places where there's going to be people that can see down from above. But I mean, you also have a quad in there. You can quad fly your way back over the Neo Tilted. What a back-to-back! That was 2 shots sequentially.
62 on the first guy for the body shot, finds the second player rotating and hits him with the headshot. We talk about the flint knock efficiency in the right hand. Scoggin, the right hand's there, just Wow, you talk about the pirate camp right there, going to work with the flintlock. I'm a big fan of that west side of the map too. I know the little kind of broken house between Viking Village and where Polar was that's down there has 3 chest spawns, and you can rotate away. There's mushrooms there. That's one of my drop spots.
You get the ice too. You can feed into Greasy if you want to. There's a lot of chances to move over there. I think the west side of the map right now is one of the best for solos.
I'm just upset. I lost the covered bridge down south in between Lucky down there. Has 2 spawns on itself, and then the pirate cannon that used to be there had 2 spawns, and then the house had a spawn. So there's 5 spawns that were all in the one spot, and then you move right into old factories. It was really good, but lost that one unfortunately. Now on board here with Styler CSC sitting on 42 points. You can see him trying to edit down the rest of the lobby.
Not sure about that shadow bomb.
He popped the shadow bomb like he was going to rotate. He saw the supply crate, and then like,
I think he thought about it for a second and said, you know what, I already used the shadow bomb. I don't want to make this, I don't want to feel like this goes to waste, so I'm just going to, instead, I'm going to push for rotation.
But you can see in the bottom right-hand corner there, that supply drop just goes completely to waste. There was no one there. Let's look at the rest of the lobby. Martaz, Crippa, Waldo, Kisanth, Orc H, Fool, Bayonne, Mods, Blazin, so many players. Mexi over there in a baller rolling around. Talazito in there and still above storm damage. So if you are rolling around in the ball, you will be getting the ticks going there. Have to play aggression, have to play aggressive going through to turn that off, or just tag somebody.
Knox in the feed a second ago, I believe, being eliminated by the storm. Looks like that threshold did get to him, down to 31 players. Need one more to go down before Storm Surge is no longer a factor. 94 above right now for Styler, taking quick peeks, maybe thinking I need to get a hit on somebody before it's too late. I'd say back-to-back hits is pretty good there. Picking up an Elim, pushing it to 30 remaining. One through the wall to the right. Quick shot, misses twice, but finds a third. Tart goes down, picking up the second Elim so far for Styler, sorry. 29 players left. We're 4 away from placement points. And this is so many people trying to rotate simultaneously through not even the ultimate low ground, but just kind of the mid is just full of people. Every single layer is a fresh tarp, and you have tons of new builds and a lot of metal coming up.
A lot of metal going through it, and you got to work through the old builds as Brism gets taken down and misses out on the placement point. So now on board here with Haibuzin as he makes his rotation. Mexi out of the baller, picks up Savid. Ghosty gets taken down as well as Haibuzin as he edits down, gets the shot, and then the tick over from the fall damage, I think.
No,
that player might have gone through.
I think that player that he shot actually survived. There was a storm.
Oh, it was the other player who went through. Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay, understood.
Full picking up an elimination with fall damage in your feet in the top. 4 elims right now. Haibuzin trying to push up through. Like I was saying, the player builds that are out there right now, so difficult to push through if they're metal. It requires so many more melee hits from your pickaxe to try and break. It's going to slow you down. You're going to take storm damage from it. It's going to put you in a worse position. You won't be able to get to the forefront of the storm while other players are trying to rotate. Next from Loot Boy, looking for a peek shot there. Going to drop out of the box. Looks like a little bit of a delay there.
Just madness on that low ground. Everyone is down there as we're getting closer. Boom, there it is. Top 15. Styler does get taken down on that mid-tarp by Mods. Harvey gets Kisan. Mexi gets taken down by Zealous. Bayonne there. Brilliantly done, topped out on the light ammo. Crippa gets Fool as Mods gets Blazing, and we're into the top 10. Top 5 being left.
Drops Martaz in with the edit. Catches him on the move with the corner edit and a quick swap. Oh, man. Sorry. That was insanity. What a quick reaction there, man. Now at 2 eliminations. Only 24 builds, but G just picked up all that brick a second ago. He's digging through any materials he has left. Bodobon all the way in the high ground right now. A single layer across, but it doesn't really matter. No one's looking up, and he's got RPGs for days. Looks like he's going to look down from above and try and take shots.
Good pickup, some Crippa on this mid-tarp right now as Botabon is going to work down. Bayonne on the mid-tarp. Top 5 just happened as Haibuzin gets ticked over. Shadow, will he be able to pick it up? Bayonne gets Shadow, though, on the turn. Can Bayonne catch back up to the zone? And
ramp.
Crippa gets caught by Botaben on the high ground. The single tarp strategy on the high ground. The one rocket he fires down for an Elib and the victory out. He says you can take that out. 11 points coming out from Botaben.
Well played there. Even just the single layer of brick, because there were so many layers of material below, that's actually really, really good thinking on his part as he's moving forward. He looks down and says, no one's going to challenge me. There's so much mass in the way that no one's looking up. I just need to keep this, I got to find a spot to connect it. And he dropped down and did that, that's a super common strategy, especially in duos. Typically you have players that are, one's applying pressure, taking shots at people, while the other drops down and reconnects the builds, and they swap roles back and forth. I think we see Tfue and Cloaksy do that all the time. If you watch the stream, it's super, super common.
Zay and Saf, another duo that
100%.
kind of I don't want to say like made that more prolific, but like watching their VODs and
so
watching
smart.
them do it is kind of like, oh, here's the blueprint for how you go about doing this
Exactly.
correctly.
You're connecting the canopy of your build to structure that's already established underneath, because then if somebody shoots out what's way back in the storm, you're not going to run back and replace it. But now it doesn't matter because you have another branch connecting underneath.
Yeah, and then you're
Very,
all
very important.
good. Well done from them there. As we're on board here with Solari Airwalks, 49 players left, so just a tick under half of the lobby. Storm Circle 5 is closing, and we're also going to be rotating through pressure plant, so lots of geysers, lots of innate natural mobility, and a decent amount of mats and metal that can be reused, so it should be interesting to see what ends up happening here as we hop on board here with Train H's Alpha. Train H being the team Train Hard, hits the geyser and says, I'm going to zone.
There's players all the way up on the drone in the sky above. You see them Alpha on rotation, checking up above quickly. Gonna layer up twice to stay away from the player underneath. You don't want to get dropped in on somebody else's structure. Replacing the ramp with a cone so you can get quick edits in whatever direction you need. I do want to make a quick statement. You see these kind of edits, he's looking for shots now, and then he'll quickly do a reset after he feels like he's shot for long enough. You don't want to get caught gargoyling, tunnel visioning on somebody where you're exposed and someone might take a shot. And there's a lot of players in front of him. He might not see them, but they're there. But what I was going to say is oftentimes we see players do like the window edit and then instantly reset so that they can get transparency through the metal or the brick. More often now I've been seeing players do a door instead of a window, because at this level, even that imagine you have 3, 4, 5 frames where there's a window open, someone might sneak a snipe shot or rocket something in through the window and you're gonna get punished. Door doesn't do that.
So close the door.
Well, yeah, you put the door in and it's still just a solid surface. So you prevent any opportunity for somebody to sneak a shot in. Yampi there, I was going to say, you might want to reset that window, speaking of.
Mongrel in the lobby, Crew in the lobby as well. You can see Mongrel currently sitting on 55 points. Last time we saw him, he was at that 50 mark, so down to it. You can also see Storm Surge. He's 98 damage above it. Again, that will get turned off at 30 players, so expect aggression to come out. Second Shadow Bomb being popped and just trying to get to the far side of the zone, get away from people, box up and be safe. Mongrel wants to play patiently, wants to not be eliminated early. Generally, you're used to seeing him play much more aggressive, but with everything on the line, with the queues being closed, with the last opportunity to book a seat in New York City, he knows he can't mess up. He has to get points here if he wants to be going.
You got to be thinking these players too when they're back.
Airwalks and Alpha Amons are both in the lobby. I apologize, but this place is stacked.
No, it's insane. You're right. I was going to say, players typically too at this level that are watching the queue and watching the leaderboard, they're going to ready up and then they're going to immediately go look to see where they are on the board as they go into the next game. Even sometimes they have a chance during their, like when they're boxed up in here, they'll pull up the leaderboard if they can on the website, something like that, and see if they can find out just how many points they need to make in order to place. Does not surprise me that Mongrel's trying to play a little safer, pushing over the top of this campfire player underneath. Another one boxing up inside metal. A lot of layers here. An attempt to maybe get a little bit of an advantage here in terms of elevation, pushing forward, branching into the next circle.
Oh, Baller almost took out his build there, which could have been absolutely devastating. Would have dropped him down. No tarp beneath. 28 players remaining. Look for shots. He finds it.
There we go.
There you go. Leon Flares goes down. 26 players remaining. Wolfies gets picked up by Chris. Mongrel up to 56 points. Looking for it, and that's 59 now as he hits the top 25. Player directly next to him on the box, but trying to pop that, and Crew goes down as well. Was in the top 25, but that was the player who was in the second place last time we saw him. You have Windstrike Mayhem, who was within distance. Now you have Airwalks, the Solari player, at 53 points, trying to drop him down. RPG up on the high ground. He follows it right away. Suat gets swatted out of the sky, but Astro SMZ is also making his push for the top as he's picked up his third Elam since we've been watching. Mongrel gets another one, picking up Romu as we get closer to the top 15. Airwalks getting some reloads into that combat shotgun, wants to make sure he has every tool available as we push down to the final fight. Airwalks up on the ultimate high ground. ETQ rounding around the storm. Mongrel going to challenge on the mid-tarp, and he gets Carrera, and he also gets into the top 15 as we slide on board with Train H's Alpha, puts the trap down, and he gets Astro. Astro knocked out. Could be his World Cup run over there.
26 points thus far for Alpha, but not a big deal. He's still putting on a good show. Shots back behind, finds another player. Cell caught in a box just outside. Rotating forward, 9 players remaining. Scalamo goes down to fall damage to the feed. ETQ eliminated by that combat shotgun, so powerful in these close range fights. Alpha, 6 eliminations, looking for the 7th, pushing through, applying pressure through the wall, does not want the player inside to take the chance to get anything. Mongrel picks up another elimination, then immediately gets eliminated, goes out in 7th place, almost the top 5 for those points, only going to get 5 placement. Could still be big enough to make his way to New York City. We will have to see before too long. Top 5 now. Alpha, 30 builds, a mini opportunity. Anything to heal right now is going to be big. You don't want to be caught by players that may have positioning, and Oldies does in fact have that positioning. A 1v1. Players are basically 1-2 boxes away from each other, and Oldies may take the chance to rotate up out of the storm. We'll see here, stuck against the edge. Airwalks, the ultimate high ground, just waiting. 97 builds for Oldies, but only 1 for Airwalks.
52 to 58 in points. This could end up being the difference. Oldies looks to go for it, and he gets the zone back from Airwalks. He takes away the zone, but Airwalks knocks him down. No fall damage coming through. Can Airwalks find the shot?
No build.
Oldies just keeping the zone in the area, and Oldies gets the victory royale, pushes him up to 55. Airwalks falls at 58 with no builds.
Imagine being Oldies knowing you just eliminated Airwalks from Solary, Mongrel from Secret. You've got to be feeling really good about that game. A big push for points, too. That was, like you said in the middle of it, a very, very stacked lobby. A lot of pressure, too, because you have so many players now in these games that we're showing you. You have to remember at home, the ones we're trying to pick the ones that are best for affecting the leaderboard, because these are the plays that you need to see. This is Europe, by the way, if you're just tuning in. If you've popped in a little late, we're trying to push our way through these games because there's so many things happening, but all these lobbies are going to be so intense because everyone is vying for those top 8 positions to qualify to go to New York City.
And that's what it's all about, getting a spot in the Fortnite World Cup final. This is week 9 of the online open qualifiers, the last chance in the solos competition. And if you want to sit on that stage, if you want to be playing with the best of the best, the Bizzles, the Vivids, the T-Fuse, the Dementos, all of those top players on the stage with FaxFox and Vanny, you have to clutch up right now in these final moments and against the best players, because if you're unfamiliar with how the tournament matchmaking works, it's 3 hours, 10 matches, and as you climb in points, you're matched with players close to you in that point range. So the matches only get more difficult, the players only get better, and these are the times, these are the fights you have to win if you want to be playing for your shot at the $30 million.
A quick note, too, if you're watching, this is the final game for Europe. Everything for these players to qualify for solos for New York City, to play for $30 million on a stage bigger than any stage Fortnite has ever seen. This is the last chance for Europe. There are a lot of fans out there of a lot of these players. Do me a favor. Go on Twitter. Tag your favorite players and show them some love. Keep the negativity out of this. Hashtag Fortnite World Cup, because Fortnite has done something that not many people ever thought would happen. They've put a focus on every player that has played out of their minds. And I want to be sure that all these people that have played, have qualified, have tried their heart out, they need to know that you're supporting the heck out of them. So again, hashtag Fortnite World Cup. Please let your favorite players know that they've done an excellent job. Win or lose, doesn't matter how many eliminations. All these people have a lot of heart. It's important that they know that.
Indeed, a lot of heart coming out from all of these players. It's so incredibly hard to get.
I laugh as you say, but honestly, what a perfect name to see pop up. All that being said, no mercy this week.
Weigh-in picks up it. He says no mercy this week. Indeed, it's all about those last spots, trying to find the Shadow Bomb player as he rotates through, getting the shots going off here. And this is what it's all about. Storm Surge is on for 3 more players. Weigh-in pushing forward. Lacey Sher gets fast and then gets traded out by Rasmussen. We have our top 30. So Storm Surge is off. First place in threshold in 5 more players. Black Sue over there in the mid tarp, gonna hop on board with him, sitting on 46 points right now. Going to need a monstrous performance if he wants to top off. We see a number of players pushing up towards that 60 range. Don't forget 8 spots coming out of Europe, top 25, the first placement threshold, and Blacks is in a good spot to hit it with the 4 shadow bombs, using the first one now.
The stream's got to be feeling good about how their players are playing thus far. Blacksuit and Skype both excellent thus far. Potentially see Vato at some point. We'll have to find out. 28 players, 26, 25. What a quick shift in player count. Points going out. 3 for everybody left on the board, down to 22 already. This rotation has been lethal for so many. Such a big shift, down to 21 now. Chip goes down, 20. Every time I feel like I say it, we're about to see 19. There's another elimination. The Toxic Donut removed from the game. Blacksuit pushing forward here, 2 eliminations. Don't want to get caught by someone boxing up, as we've seen so many times in the past. Trying to maybe land somewhere inside a box with a launch pad. Going to move forward with the Storm. Excellent position now, has a chance to kind of wait and peek back behind. Someone is up above. He's got to be careful there. That edit going to jump up and move on through to the next section of this circle. Still not stopped. We're very close. You look at the mini-map, the blue and white cross over the circles. Once that happens, you know players are going to start boxing up and peeking back for sure. Back-to-back shots, back-to-back eliminations.
No, he only got one of them. Darrow got the other one. That could end up
apologies.
being huge. Like we said, every single one of these interactions mattering, but Blackso trying to push the envelope and get every elim anyway. Will he be able to find it? He hits the shot, gets the siphon onto Purge. All of a sudden, Blackso has single-handedly fragged his way into the top 5. 57 points, but we've seen more. He needs to keep pushing. This is the last match on the server. This is the top 5. Frenzy, Nate, Screaky, Masato, and Blackso will be closing out the European region. Blackso right now extending the time route on the Shadow Bomb. He's in your bottom right. He drops down. Nate gets taken out by Masato. Frenzy begins to work. Top down. Takes 55 fall damage. Blackso pushes in. Hitting Masato in the same box. Masato disengages around the side. Blackso desperately trying to find the shot. Needs everything he can. Top 4. Screaky goes down as Masato finds it. Frenzy continues working from the top down, but Blackso needs the space. No builds left on Frenzy. 47 points for him, 57 for Blackso. This is his chance. Can he get Lestream to the World Cup final? He's looking for it. He finds the first shot. 88. Can he convert? No. Frenzy picks up the elim, but he finds the 30 right after. Needs the elim and the victory royale. 461. But can it be enough? And can he close it out? He's looking for the shots. 49 shield, 85 health, no builds from the low ground player. Frenzy gets cleaned up. 61 for Lestream's Blackso. But will it be enough? Courage, will it be enough?
We will find out, folks. 5 weeks of solo competition have led to this moment in Europe. The queues are done, and now it is time to find out who exactly has made it on through to the Fortnite World Cup Finals. Who will take up those final spots from the European region?
I think it's time to take a look.
Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen,
Wow.
First off, congratulations to Andretta, who throughout the entire day was in that top spot. Crew, Skype, Light, Mongrel has made it on in. Was what everyone was wondering if he was going to do it.
Yep.
People had high expectations. He clutches in the end. Mku, Teak, and who did we just see in that last game?
There you go, man. Blacksu, he makes it in for Lestream. That's huge for the French-speaking community because we saw Solary already go through, and Lestream kept getting edged out every week, but now it's Blacksu's time to shine. Really quick, though, Andretta. So you talked about this guy's been on fire all day long.
Yeah.
We actually kind of pulled stats on his previous week qualifiers. For the previous solo weeks, 291th place, 127, 218, 610, and now first all day long. Went from like 50 viewers on Twitch to like 20,000. Send Andretta some love. All his hard work has truly paid off. These are the 8 that are coming through, Courage.
Congratulations to them. I think there's one more thing we can do. It's time to punch their ticket. Zeke.
I'll start over here.
Start over there.
Boop. There you go.
Andretta made it. Crew made it. Let's hit the middle one. Skite made it.
There you go.
Light. Mongrel. Congratulations again, brother. In the middle. Mku. And finally, Teak. And wait.
There you go.
Laksu as well.
There you go.
The 8 players from Europe who will join Muffin and Rona season, as we saw earlier, making it on in. Incredible stuff. Europe was an insane day today, just as we expected. High-level lobbies, tons of people left all the way to that 5th zone. But here's the beauty of it, folks. We've got more action to bring you. We're going to go to a quick 5-minute break. When we come back, we'll catch you up to speed on some of the other regions before we kick off the NA East action.
Zeke, this is it. This is the last chance, all right? People need to know about this block party, all right? This is your last opportunity to get them involved, to get them hyped. Zeke, everyone's gonna be there, all right? DJ Zeke's gonna be there. DJ Sundown's gonna be there. Everyone's gonna be there, all right? The people are waiting. All right. You know what, man? I'm DJ Zeke. I don't need no card. But what you need to do is buy your tickets to the block party. Tickets are only $35, Fortnite fam. Listen, all right, June 15th, 16th at the LA Forum. Day 1, Creative Showdown. Listen, all right, Team Evolve built an incredible map. Spoiler alert, it's dope. Day 2, Celebrity Pro-Am. 50 pro gamers, 50 celebrities, all battling out for a $3 million charity prize pool. What more do you want? What more do you need? Fortnite fam, you need to be there because we are ready to party with you. Bam!
Heyo Fortnite fam, Sundown here, and today we're going to talk a little bit about the Flintlock pistol and its impact on competitive play.
The Flintlock pistol is a great addition. Sometimes it'll just change the course of a fight.
The things you can do is insane. You can get height with it. It shoots pretty far. You can almost use it as an AR at the beginning game just to get one shot. It'll hit for like 80, 90 in the body.
And this is looking really good for Horrify, but the Flintlock is going to get the high ground. Nikiva, such a smart play.
The Flintlock is a common and uncommon weapon that uses heavy ammunition. It does 86 or 90 damage depending on rarity, and it has a 2 times headshot multiplier. This means that outside of a sniper rifle, it has the highest single shot damage potential in the game. However, the Flintlock only allows for 1 shot at a time, has pretty decent damage fall off, and also takes 3 seconds to reload. In addition to all of this, the Flintlock also has a mobility component to it. When fired, it will impulse the shooter backwards, and if the bullet strikes a target, it will impulse the target away from the shooter. This can allow for some tricky plays to be made. Player there, runs out in the storm, jump, finds it, yeah! We've seen a decent amount of use out of the Flintlock during the Fortnite World Cup online open qualifiers. So let's hear from some of the qualified players to get their opinion on its addition to the game.
If I'm low on HP and I have to choose one weapon, it will be this one. You can actually like kill someone from 200 HP to 0 without taking any shots.
And it's also really good for competitive play because if you're high ground or if you want to get away from a situation, the Flintlock, when you use it, it knocks you some distance so you can get away or you can get high ground over someone. I think it just adds a lot of like different plays you can make with it. I think it's good.
I personally really like the Flintlock. I think it's a really good weapon. I think it's a really strong weapon in the right hands. You need to know how to use it and you need to base your whole game around it if you want to use it right.
It's just a kind of weapon we need more.
I definitely think it's one of the better things that have been added skill-wise. I like that it's so versatile. I really like it competitive. Definitely deserves a spot here.
Thanks for watching, and hopefully you saw how the Flintlock can be utilized in the right hands. What is the best Flintlock play you've done or seen? Share it with us using the hashtag Fortnite World Cup, and we'll be seeing you guys on the battle bus, or maybe Flintlocking through the air.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Fortnite World Cup. This is the final week for solo qualifiers, so if you're trying to make your way to New York City to punch that ticket, now's the time to do it. If you miss out, that'll be that. Coming up next, we have Asia and Oceania replays. Those regions have already played out, but before we get to that, I asked a question when I was with Sundown casting the end of Europe, and that was where your favorite drop spot was. And we are lucky enough, because of the magic of Twitter and the production team who is always top-notch, we had a little social walk. I want to see what everybody said about everything. I just want to put this out there immediately. My boy Till Truth agreeing that Viking Village up top, one of the best in the game. Disco, Frosty Dusty, Jung Junction when running solos, unless it's a hot spot, dropping factories by Flush, Racetrack, Lazy Lagoon or the Block. The Block, honestly, we're seeing that more and more. A lot of players are picking that up. Mega Mall, surprising to me, one of the biggest landing zones on the map right now. We've seen it time and time again being constantly swamped with players. Paradise Palms, Salty Springs again. Pressure Plant, and I believe that is the very southeast corner of the map. Some players call it Westworld. There's all sorts of names for these locations where if they don't have a POI name on them. It's kind of interesting to see how creative people can get. So I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I'm always curious where people are dropping as hard as I can to avoid any of those spots. Thanks for telling me where to not go. But I do want to see where Asia and Oceania go. And in order to do that, in order to look at those replays and get a play-by-play of everything happening, I need some players to give me some insight. And those players, in this case, would be Monster D-Face and Zeke.
Thank you, Dr. Lupo. Back
Monster,
at it again, Zeke.
Are you ready?
Ready to rock it.
I believe you are ready. That's why you gave me the fist bump and not Courage JD. Fortnite fam, we hope you guys are ready because it is finals day. We're hopping into some replays from Oceania that happened this morning. We want to get these guys up to speed, have them, share their moment because them qualifying was a big deal. Yeah, absolutely. So let's get ready to hop into these games together. Is there anything you're excited about? You looking forward to, Monster?
I mean, I'm looking forward to just watching all these games unfold. I follow like every competitive player on social media, so to wake up to my peers, kind of happy that they pushed through, or unfortunately, sometimes, you get the other tail end of that, see their errors where things kind of didn't fall in line for them. Because at the end of the day, no performance is perfect. And when you kind of go back and really look at it, a lot of times you spot your own errors. So it's kind of crazy how much Fortnite is developed and evolved and how much more room for perfection there is in this game.
For sure, man. I mean, we can always be getting better, not only in Fortnite, but as humans. And of course, at our ability to eat chicken parmesan, because I will never be able to eat it as incredibly as Courage JD can. 44 players currently.
Graciously.
Yeah, he's voracious with the food. 44 players here at Storm Circle 5. We see this all the time, right, Monster? That was a great pickup of Magsy there in midair. But we see this all the time. Finals day is very different than Saturday's qualification rounds, right? Saturday's semifinals are typically very elimination heavy. Finals, they know what's at stake. They know they have to play conservative, play for points, play for placements, and that's what we're seeing now.
Yeah, it definitely goes without saying that these last days when everything's on the line, there's just so much more pressure on you to perform that you are going to be more hesitant. Not only that, you have to respect people that are able to make it through to the top 0.01% Sunday for qualification, because at the end of the day, look at how many players don't make it to Sunday. Like, literally, it's not easy to crack out 30, 50 points, 60 points if you're on EU at times, just to make it through. Like, the competition is that stiff. So there's a lot right down the line. If you make it through to Sunday, you got to give yourself a pat in the back, regardless of how you do it, because it's no easy feat. And if someone makes it look easy, just understand that guy is miles ahead of the competition.
Yeah, for sure. And I think even if you don't qualify, right, there's always going to be events going forward in the future. There's always another opportunity. Just because you didn't make it, it does not mean that it's the end of your Fortnite journey or your Fortnite career, right?
I mean, just like everything in life, it takes a lot of preparation, consistency, but more importantly, one of the factors people don't take for granted is it's the luck back there. You also still need things to click, even in life, and things are clicking right here. Scopes Rebel goes down, nice little shot from Rona Season, what we saw did pull through.
Yeah, that's right. Rona, aka Sazman, taking that #1 spot over in OCE. He's already on 4 eliminations, so this is probably his maybe second game, right? Because he has 10 points here, and we're not even top 5, has the 4 eliminations. and he's hard. So his game before must have just been his initial game for 6 points total. And now we're hopping in. How are things going to unfold for him? He just hit top 25, so first round of placement points coming out. Don't forget, guys, 15, 5, Victorial. Those are every single threshold, and every elim is a point. So already at 7, I don't know how to do math, just from elims and placement.
Yeah, and if you're new to competitive Fortnite, this is what it looks like at the highest levels of competition when there is money and prize on the line. Not only that, the respect of your peers. People are insane at this game. You might not see Glider redeploy every day in your day-to-day games, but here in the upper levels of competition, they use these kind of items to maximum efficiency, to save materials. So top-tier competitive Fortnite is a very interesting thing to watch and kind of digest. And just kind of from sticking around and studying these guys' play, you can level up your own game.
Especially like the minor differences between different people's play, right? Like you as a player, you might say, I love Glider redeploy, and that is my go-to item.
Yep.
For me, I might say, look, I value the Shadow Bombs more because it just lends itself to my playstyle and the things I'm looking to do. You know, and especially as Fortnite continues to evolve, new patches come out, new weapons, items, utility, all that. Like, it's just an ever-changing game. To see these guys adapt and just everything in their hands is lethal. It's like gray AR, it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna find 10 elims. Gray tech, doesn't matter. 10 elims.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
They make it look so good. Now take a look at Rona, who somehow manages to find some high ground off that Shadow Bomb, doing a really good job at climbing up here. Makes the edit one step ahead of Unknown. Space there, kind of steps out before his counterplay can even happen. Now he is set up. He has a setup shop right here. Who's at the ultimate top? It's Alfie. Alfie firing down, and someone else is just above him. You can see there, it's Brave. I will not lose. He's got the ultimate high here. Alfie says, you know what? I want no part of that. He is coming down into Rona. Let's see what Rona's going to do with these final moments here. He steps into another player's box. 120. Such a tight crosshair to hit these shots. You got to respect the aim here and the consistency, Zeke.
This is, I mean, this is what separates Sosman from the rest, right? There's so much confidence behind his play, and this is what I love talking about because that's what resonates with me, is how confident you are in the moment of things happening, right? Just look at this, not building. He has 13 builds, so it's not much, but he doesn't need to build. He knows what's going on. He's dictating the tempo of this game, right? Right now, Sosman is on that lowest level. Bray is up above. And now, I mean, Sosman's got 10 elims, all right? This is huge. He's going to try and go against Bray. Now, Bray does have more materials, 35 to 2, but now they're saying, you know, let's go toe-to-toe. Can Sosman line up the shot? He actually drops down below Monster. This engagement didn't even pan out. Oh.
Is he going to be able to get him? Is he going to be able to break these builds and bring him down to him? You saw Rona Season was just trying to stick it all the way through. And Rona Season is Sosman, guys. For those of you guys just tuned in, so these final moments are here, are everything. He's looking to get these low ground peaks. He's got the storm in his favor. He's still tracking with it. And he hits every shot, every single peak, every moment, every pixel goes to Rona.
And that's what I kind of talked about, dictating the tempo, right? It was Rona who's telling everyone else in the lobby, this is what we're doing now. Because you saw the player above. They had health advantage. They had shields. Sosman didn't. He was down to, what, like 50 HP and then pops the slurp. And then that other player was so afraid to fire back because he was like, look, this guy's going to crack me in the face every single time. You can just tell by the way he's moving. He's confident. He sees that win.
And that's what I was going to say. Like, it's so funny that even with the high ground, sometimes you can just tell a good, like, low ground warrior will poise up in such a way that you're like, dude, if I, like, look over, like, he's going to shoot me. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, you just know. So in those final moments, you kind of just knew, man, he was going to get shot. And, you know, hate to see it not be able to clutch up. But on to the next, guys, is O-R-N-Z-Y. Orenzy.
I think that's making me, like, sending me back into my previous Fortnite games where it's
right?
like, I want to fight a guy, and I'm like, this guy's crazy. Like, why would he do this?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna get this guy. And then he just completely demolishes me. I'm like, he is crazy good at Fortnite. That's what was going on. Now look at this, Orenzy here. Great pickup. My goodness, 3 elims just like that. Now keep in mind, he's outside of top 25. So he's got to be a little bit careful here of how he navigates. Again, on the right side of your screen there, you see Sosman, again, the person who qualified from OCE. His name currently is Rona Season, aka Sosman, just to make sure you know. But look at this loadout, dude.
He's looking good. One of the underrated things about the minigun is the extreme high fire rate. It might actually have the highest fire rate in the game when it's fully cooked, and because of that, it can really punch through builds, even if you're trying to stay on defense. So if you guys haven't given up the minigun a swirl, I should say, try and pressure someone down when they're in the box with it, and let me know if you pierce through the turbo build, if you get some shots. But don't forget, guys, we're tuning in straight with the OCE games here, which already kind of developed over the evening here at the Fortnite World Cup. Players have already punched their tickets to New York City. This is the last solo opportunity. Next week will be duos, but today it's all about the solo action. You can find yourself in the Big Apple.
Big Apple for a slice of pizza, like Golden Boy likes to say. I don't know why I like to keep perpetuating that, but here we are.
For a slice of 30M.
Yeah, there you go. You know, something really cool about Rona's loadout, look at this. He's actually maxed. We were able to see his mat count there for a little bit. He's completely maxed on everything. He actually has extra metal laying close by. Max rockets with the 12. Completely great AR. Look at this, 650 rounds of small ammunition, 130 slugs, 8 deploys, a single shadow bomb. Sure, you know, he probably wishes he had 6. But this is a loadout you want to make plays with. He's going to send shots over to the player, trying to get in. Lucas is going to get caught out, making a rotation, and that elim puts him in the top 25.
He is there, knocking on the door here, and this is how his journey unfolded to make it through to the Fortnite World Cup. Every opportunity that he has to take someone out, you can see he's singling out players and taking advantage of the positioning, but hopping around the map. These are some other players' journey as well, as we have Ariel here looking for the heavy snipe, finds a weak opportunity in the build. Whoever that is up above him is going to manage to connect the structure, but you know what? Ariel pops a nice little cone up. He's trying to go for it. He's really trying to get a piece of this high ground here. And now he disengages the pursuit, but is still tunneling on by.
That's good though. You know, if you don't have all the information, it's best to not try and go for the play, especially in finals. If this is, you know, semifinals, go for it, right? Like at worst, you're just set back a game, you could re-queue and everything's okay, but in finals, every single interaction does matter. So for Ariel, you know, he could have potentially challenged for that high ground, but it's like, I just kind of use my heavy snipe. I don't have that key to all doors. Let me just get myself to safety, take a moment, reload, gather more information. And because of just that slight pause, look, he's now in top 15. He found an elim, which he was hunting for before. He just finds it in another place. And now he's still just continuing. He picks up a rift to go as well. Heavy snipe gonna be picked up too. So now, I mean, Ariel's in a great spot right now.
Yeah, for sure. That nice little mat replenish there from catching the elim is going to throw him back in the running here to try and see if he can squeak out a victory. Up at the high ground, we have other things unfolding. Kalen goes down to Samurai. Sosman still alive in the mid-tart, putting down pressure. Squall's in a campfire here. That's a signal to the rest of the lobby that, hey, there's someone weak nearby. Sosman hears the shadow bombs kind of thrown all around him. What's he going to do here? He's just on the hunt. OCE region specifically requires you to get a ton of eliminations if you want to be number 1. There's only one spot up for grabs. And there it is, another player nearby. That's all shield ripped off. He's going to push that. Sees a player above him. He does see a player above him.
He's going to try and maybe make something happen. But look, don't forget, he still has every single rocket.
Nice rocket right there.
12 rockets. This payload is about to just destroy builds all the way around. And look, Ariel as well up on the high ground has them. So the first rocket from Ariel comes in, and then Sosman's second finds an elimination. Another rocket from Ariel up on the high ground. And look at this. Down below, they're just desperately trying to keep their builds up, and they're burning through mats. Sosman is now out, and look, he gets challenged from the front, challenged from the right, finds the 2 players, and he makes this a 1v1, but look at his HP right now. First rocket's gonna come in. How is he gonna pull this off, Monster?
I don't know if he can. He doesn't really have much going for him. Just 24 health.
He picked up 500 metal from 0 to 500. 50 builds. This is huge. If those get fully built off, they're going to absorb an entire rocket and still stay built. But
no way, dude.
This is a tough spot. Oh. That's a tall ask. That's a tall ask.
It really was. 200 HP on Ariel with the RPG as well. He was fully loaded, med kit, minis. He had everything he needed. That was a tough end game for Sosman. But hey, second place is not too shabby in this format. You get, you know, a ton of placements, but more importantly, those 2 eliminations to squeak out. We've seen the difference of 1 point was literally what all these games came down to. So that little flick of the moment, that little, you know, reaction to jump down there and go for it, that's the risk you take, and that's the payout you get.
Now we hop on over. There you go. This is, so don't forget, this is now, we're in Asia replays. You can see at the top right. So these happen again overnight while we were all asleep. I was asleep like a baby. That's not true. I woke up several times. I was mad about it. Moffin XD, though, was the victor coming out of that Asia region.
Yep, and you see there, Moffin finds someone hiding in the cone. Does capitalize on a nice little elimination. Sees the loot back there, but might be a little too far to go scavenge for, so he's just on the hunt still here. As things are poised up outside of the Dusty Divot. Really tough place to battle out of. You never want to find yourself in the center of it. Nice shot right there. As he catches someone who's running right by. These competitive players are so good with the accuracy. Oh, he's trying to play the loot hoarder here, trying to get all the mats and stuff that he did not battle for, and now he's got the storm against his back, and there's no way that man was going to get out of there, because with the 60-second threshold now, the storm can also just reward that Elam regardless to Moffin here. And whoa, he jumps into the zone for the desperate materials. Didn't even rift out. Ouch, it's going to cost him like 70 health there, Zeke.
That's a lot. Okay, so he did pick up 3 campfires. Sure, he can heal up, but that's such a tell, right? The moment you place a campfire, you're telling everyone around you, hey, I am low HP. I have to use this if I hope to survive. Now, keep in mind, he was at the edge of the storm. He had quite the rotation to make. Because he dipped into the storm, everyone else is already making their way into safety. He's going to have a relatively safe rotation, but, like, again, he's in critical condition. If he finds an Elam, it's going to be huge. That Siphon's going to just put him right back into fighting condition, but he's got to find that Elam.
Dude, talk about, like, insane rotation. First of all, he didn't get shot once coming from the further side of the Dusty Divot, and there was multiple players set up on bases. That is what we call that little bit of luck factor that sometimes you just need to kind of pull through here, because it doesn't happen like that very often. Someone gets rifted up there. Moffin lands a nice little 78. He's still in the game right now. Still in the game here.
He's going to reload that heavy snipe. So just look for an opportunity. I doubt he's going to try and go for close range snipes. He's probably going to use that to just punch into people's bunkers. He has his own rift to go. If things get a little hairy, I think he probably wants to use it, because if you, this is great. Just punch through, there you go, and use the other player's rift.
Look at his health again.
Yeah, but look where we're going right now. We're going on the little lip there of Dusty Divot. That's such an incline that if you don't make it first, you can actually box other people out, and then they have to burn materials to get over the little hill there. So I like that play, just saying, you know what? This guy used the rift, and look at this. Prime real estate.
You just said it too, right? Like, you want to get on the lip there and see what you can do. Moffin comes in with some shots here. Looking for the replacement.
Wow.
Pulls off the cone, Zeke. Wow. Just like that.
And this is huge now, too, because not only does he get all the elims, the campfire's still going, so people are going to be like, oh, that player must be weak. Would we like to engage him? And Moffin sitting on 200 is like, please. No, yeah, absolutely. Like, come on in.
That'll be a big mistake for someone there. Let's look at this map here. This is the Asian region, guys. We're tuned in with Asia. Hopping into some of what occurred overnight here. Char Mew looking to get his little moment here in the show. Nice shot right there. Oh, man, Char gets hit with the Shadow Bomb. Don't forget, guys, that animation, while you're in Shadow Bomb as well, you're vulnerable. You are very vulnerable. You have to be careful of your surroundings. You can take damage. You're not invincible in the Shadow Bomb form.
Man, Charmy is just burning through materials. That was a pretty rough rotation. It's probably going to cost him in the long run, because, I mean, he did go through quite a bit of mats, but you know, Monster, I like to pose this question. I've already posed it to Pookie. I've posed it to Kitty. You know, you guys are members of the community. You know, you've taught so many of us different things. You know, you've got a podcast. In case you know who Monster Deepface is, go send him a follow. He's incredible. But you've been in situations like this, right? You've played in Summer Skirmish. You played in, I think, Fall Skirmish as well, right?
Yep.
You know, we went to Korea together to watch the Korea Open. So you understand what these players are thinking. For maybe people that are kind of new to Fortnite, that maybe this might be their first time tuning in, you want to just break down some things for them.
Yeah,
like for instance, like rotations. Like what is Metsuo thinking right now as he's barreling toward trying to keep himself safe, right?
Yeah, well, like, obviously, initial threats, right? You want to handle everyone here, nice little trap play. So just even every single decision can be broken down. The way they use traps, a lot of these players, you want to double trap left and right wall, so you cut off all plans for escape.
Right.
Something small like that. Here, editing his way down, right? He does not have an escape plan. That elim right there is going to give him the launch pad, of course, to get the escape route off the high ground, but just recognizing height differences, the way competitive players play zone, they typically like to hug the zone. They never give too much, they don't take too much real estate in the end moments. They take their time and kind of hug the zone instead, flirt with that storm line. So many little different things that come into competitive play, and you can really just nitpick and break it all apart. It's so crazy in the highest levels.
Yeah, I just love talking about that stuff. I'm not great at articulating my thoughts with that kind of stuff. I understand what's happening. I'm like, oh, I'm trying to tell you a thing.
It happens so quickly, especially in Fortnite. But that's one of my favorite parts about it is just like the action, the APM, the actions per minute in Fortnite is unparalleled to any other BR I've ever experienced. And that's what really draws me to this game specifically. So we are looking at Moffin, who pulled through, man, took it right underneath the feet of people like Aim Hero that Zeke and I had. We had the pleasure of casting it at South Korea. He crushed it.
Yeah.
We saw Sinnoh out
we met
there.
him. We met
Aim Hero. We met all, dude. It was like
so
it was surreal, dude.
Yeah,
right?
Dude. I remember that story that would happen so vividly. We met him because we were like, we're like in almost like a green room waiting to go. Yeah. And we saw players around us, and Aim Hero was like, he popped in the room, and we're like, oh, hey, like, hi.
Matter of fact, remember, there was like this divider, we were standing over it, and they were like, Zeke, I love you.
And I was like, wait, what? And they were like, yeah, you're Zeke, and you're Monster D-Face. We were like, wait, first of all, congratulations, Moffin XD. We know you're the victor, and that is exactly why 11 eliminations and the Victor Royale. 21-point game, massive lead for him. But yeah, I remember, and then they just called us out. They're like, yeah, you're Monster, and you're Zeke. And I was just like, what the heck?
That was definitely crazy to think outside the country.
Yeah, that was what was
we're out the country. This is Fortnite on a global scale here.
Man, how it's so crazy. That was like at the beginning of the year, and now here we are, dude.
Yeah. We have not made a full year casting Fortnite yet. This thing is just like exploded.
Oh goodness, the snipe coming out! Oh, wow, what a massive shot coming out of Moffin there. And look, check this out. 31 players left. He's already on 6 eliminations. This guy is crazy, and this is who is going to the World Cup Finals. This is the level of play we will see in the finals.
Yeah, Moffin's going to have to bring it. When you put a player who's only experienced one region, let's just say, against the likes of the rest of the world, who knows what region is really going to come out on top. Keep in mind, too, though, guys, EU and the American regions, the European and American region, will of course have a larger presence just off of the sheer numbers. So it is going to be interesting how the top 20 turns out, especially considering, some presence a little less than others. But I mean, all these guys are equally skilled.
That's right.
In some capacity, they're all deserve to be there, all of them.
And you know what's funny too is we interviewed, in case you missed it earlier, go back and check out the VODs. We actually interviewed Sozman, the winner from OCE, and he was just basically explaining, like, we asked him, how do you feel about going into the Fortnite World Cup Finals? And he was like, oh, OCE plays differently than NA does, and it's going to be interesting for me going to finals and competing against that because we just play so differently. So I almost, in my head, like, I just imagine everyone kind of playing their own game going into finals, but at the same time, like, you got to think this is a $30 million prize pool. This is huge. The biggest stage ever
for different places. I mean, but that goes against everyone else too, though.
Sure.
Because that means, oh man, just think about it.
I think finals is gonna have its own meta.
They're gonna have a style, and of course the pressure's gonna be high, guys. I think the real question is who's gonna have the confidence to take a fight and win a fight. Like, who is straight up gonna have the confidence and just be like, you know what? I don't respect your builds. I'm pushing you. Who's gonna be that guy, right? Because that's really what it comes down to. If you are confident like that, that's why you see people like Bugga, Dubs, Clicks, right? Stompy. They was like, what duo are you? I don't care if you're Kinstar. I'm gonna take your wall right now.
Exactly.
And that level of play is why. And dude, we've seen Stompy do it every week. Even this time around, he got 11. He was just outside of top 10. So trust me, he's still here, guys. That's what they do. They just do crazy plays.
Yeah, that's actually something you taught me way back when. Is you cannot. Let's say it's just Zeke, me, and I'm in this game somehow. I don't know, some alternate universe, and I'm good at the game, and I'm fighting off against someone like Moffin here, who qualified as that #1 player going into finals. I cannot stop and sit here and go, that's Moffin. I know what he's capable of. I can't make a mistake. I just have to go. It doesn't matter who that is. I just have to play my game. I have to play the very best that I can. And at the end of the day, that's all I can ask for, right? Like, the moment you stop and think, that's Tfue, I think, that it's already too late. You've already made the error, right? Like, you can't stop, and some people can't. So they're like, okay, I know that's Tfue. I know he's going to try and probably do this based on what I've seen and the information I have. But if you're just sitting there and thinking like, oh, man, that's Tfue. I don't know if I can fight him. Like, no, you can fight him. You've made it to finals for a reason. Take the fight if you think you can.
Yeah,
right?
It's also gonna get crazy too, because for Fortnite World Cup, if you guys don't know already, we're going through full games. The early game story, the contestant, the points of interest, who likes to land where the map's gonna be at that point, right? Things are gonna change, and the game is gonna be played in a way that we have not seen yet. And that's what excites me the most, is that we're gonna see 100 of the world's best under one hub, the Fortnite World Cup.
Oh man, I
Finals.
can't wait. I can't wait. And to see all the Fortnite fan there as well, kind of cheering on the people they support, it's gonna be
Are you ready
amazing.
to feel the crowd's energy?
I'm gonna cry.
Rip through your body?
I'm gonna cry, dude.
It's literally you're gonna feel the vibration of the entire stadium.
Just erupt when incredible plays happen, you know.
Oh man.
Man, dude, chills, dude, chills.
Chills, dude.
Oh yeah, we just fist bumped. You guys didn't see it, Fortnite fan. We had a little bit of a moment there. We hope you had that moment with us. Hashtag Fortnite World Cup. Are you ready? Are you hyped for the Fortnite World Cup Finals in New York City? Alter Ego here finds an elimination, cracks that player. Now this is his first elim. He's probably hoping for more, right? At this point, he wants as many points as possible. So he's gonna look to probably play a little bit more aggressive, right? But look at everyone else. Moffin, the #1 player who came through for Asia, is in this lobby, and he's dominating the high ground. 12 eliminations, by the way.
He has just been shutting it down while we've been chatting up a storm here. Moffin going for the high ground. He's holding it. Nice little side jump right there. No errors coming out of him. And look at how he uses the boom bow to crack open all the builds. Nice little 82 right there. Here comes the pressure. Can he get the follow-up? He's looking for it. Nice little side jump, and that's another one. This player is in pickaxe territory. Bye-bye jackpot. And Moff could not even get the loot off that. Couldn't get the spoils. Another boom bow crack open right there. And when a fresh build comes out, if you do not hesitate, you send a boom bow right away, you break it all open. So that's how he's able to just like catch these players off guard, because those roof panels are just, that's it, exploding right up.
Yeah.
Down to the low ground, CXV gets one elim there, and it's Macy and Mev who's going toe-to-toe. Mob still just has the dominant position.
Yeah, I mean, so he's gonna drop down. He's got the single build, so he had to take a little bit of fall damage to rejoin everyone from the stratosphere. Macy's down below, and look at this. Immediately, boom, he says, I know you heard me take this fall damage. You don't know how much it was. They go for the challenge, and Moffin was prepared. He knew. Again, it's just about dictating the game, right? He's like, I want you to challenge me. You know that I'm hurt, how hurt I am. You do not know. And just like that, dictating the game yet again, cleans up that victory out. 15 eliminations.
Points is that? It's that 25-point game.
That's
literally doubling his score out of nowhere. If you were in the top 10 and you had that come up, that's it.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Now, guys, you know, we've had an awesome time, but for now, we're going to hit pause. Let's send it back into studio with Dr. Lupo, because I believe the doctor is in.
What a terrible, repetitive joke, Zeke, but I appreciate the effort. I'm just kidding. Thanks, Zeke. Appreciate that. Crazy games from Asia and Oceania. You love to see kind of the meta changes and how different regions present themselves and the way that they adjust their gameplay relative to everybody else. But Europe today, and as we've seen multiple times in the past, Europe has done an excellent job of putting on a show like I think few people could even possibly imagine. And to talk about that and an interesting turn of events for who ended up at the top, joining me right now is Sundown. What do you think so far about Europe?
Thank you so much, Lupo. Indeed, it was crazy. So just a couple of quick facts I want to write down. 15 points separated 100th place and 8th place. That means a 5-point victory route was the difference of going to New York City and being in the 100th spot. That is absurd for how close it was. Blackso, in that final game we watched, pushed him up to 61 points. He was tied at 61. But because he had the victory royale and got the average elim at the end, it pushed him into the last spot. We talk about how every single interaction ends up mattering. And then, unfortunately, on the outside, looking in, Airwalks, the last play we saw, if he had had one more build, he could have made it up the elevation and kept the storm. Instead, lost it, lost the victory royale, and lost his spot in New York City. Mitro also on the outside looking in, 2 top 15 finishes, but not being enough. That lets you know how crazy it is. However, the player who took the top spot was Cypher's Andretta with a crazy run, and we're going to be joined by him right now. Andretta, man, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling very good.
I mean, I would hope so. So we saw you yesterday put on an incredible show, and week after week, your placings have gone up. What was the difference between this weekend and all of the other weekends? Were you just feeling it? Did you eat your Wheaties for breakfast? What's going on?
The thing is, the other weeks I wasn't that confident, but this week I decided to try and talk with someone while playing. So that kind of helped. Getting to like talk to people, getting them to calm you down and stuff. And I got good RNG. Very good.
Nice, yeah, being able to get all of that and put it together. So you got off to an incredible run, winning 2 of your first 4 games. How were you able to get those victories? Did you just dominate them out? You had a solid amount of elims. What were those wins like?
I was using the bowler to get the end game. And then I usually found out like when I needed to drop out and stuff to go for the eliminations. And I usually had my bowler until endgame. So the thing is, you should try and keep your bowler until endgame, because it's really strong. You can go out of your bowler, get a lot of kills, and win the game. Also, you can use the bowler to get height most of the times.
Yeah,
so I did that sometimes. And
we saw you execute on that a number of times, which is kind of something we were talking about, pushing the gameplay and actually turning the baller into something that was aggressive. Now, kind of about midway through, you looked at the leaderboard, saw you were in such a lead and knew you'd be able to close it out. But my question is, when it was all said and done, and you saw you were there, you're in the #1 spot, what did you do? Did you run around your house? Did you go tell your parents? Were you celebrating on Discord? What was that moment like?
I was celebrating so much. I actually got hosted by Symphony. My stream was going crazy. I was actually, while I was playing, like my 5th game, I started crying because I almost knew I was qualified. So that was probably one of the best moments in my life ever. I don't know what to say.
It's got to be exhilarating, honestly, to know that, especially in Europe, which we've talked about as one of the most difficult regions to qualify in. Even with 8 positions, there's so much pressure there. But I got to ask a kind of a random question. I keep seeing the lighting change on your face. What are you watching right now?
I'm actually watching the Fortnite stream.
All right, you see yourself. There's layers here. There's layers. It's very Inception level. Well, thank you so much, Andretta, for joining us. Before we let you go, though, if you could do me a favor, please, 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 please shout out your own channels, shout out your duos channels, anybody you want to.
Okay. So my Twitch is Andretta. My Twitter is Cypher Andretta. My YouTube is Andretta. And I want to shout out Shoko Laden, and all the people in that Discord. And I want to shout out my stream. Thank you so much for the support.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much. Again, incredible performance both yesterday and today. Congratulations. $10,000, a spot in New York City. And as Golden Boy would say, we'll have to get a slice of pizza. We'll be seeing you later, man.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely incredible. It's crazy to think just the age ranges too. You know, the kids that are so young, all the way up to, I believe the oldest qualified right now is 24
right now. Yep.
Consider how much they're playing for too. I don't blame him honestly for getting emotional in the middle of even halfway through his games. It's insane.
It's just nuts to me where he's like, oh, I didn't have the level of confidence. And then right after, it's like, yeah, about like halfway through my games, I started crying because I knew I'd done it. And it's like, that's the level of confidence you need to be bringing on the final day. Just huge shout out to Andretta. Go follow him on Twitter, follow him on Twitch, give him all the plugs because I promise you'll be seeing more of this prodigy. Topping Europe is an incredible accomplishment. But we have more games and more regions to be getting into. We saw Oceania and Asia just now. We're going to hop on in to Brazil for a brief little bit. So back on over to the cast as we go.
Thank you guys so much. Man, you know, I feel like we've just nerded out about Fortnite, but now seeing Andretta be there and just like talk about things, it makes me want to nerd out more.
Dude, it gives me the feels, man. These young champions coming up and coming out, and it's crazy. Like he said, he just knew he made it, because if you look at the track history of all the players who've qualified so far, I say it every week, it only takes about 5 or 6 games. That's all it takes. If you get 5 or 6 aces, just solid games, big points, big placement, you're knocking on the door.
Right.
All you got to do is not choke the rest. Just ease it out. Just ease it out. Get a couple here, get a couple there, secure the deal, and Andretta knew 5 games in, oh my gosh, I think I got the 5 that I really needed to make it to New York City. And that was it. That was like literally it. Long behold, though, he gets first in the whole thing. European, the toughest region, in my opinion.
Yeah.
One of the toughest regions. Of course, you can't take away from West, who sometimes only gets 1 spot. You know, OCE, Asia, and Brazil, of course, they only get 1 spot. It's crazy. That's arguably harder, but when you talk about mass player pool, Europe is hard, dude. To get #1 is insane.
Well, especially for Andretta, I had a card not that long ago kind of saying a few of his placement spots. Last week, we watched him end in 610th place. And now, the last solo week, now to see him in the final week come out as that #1 player. You know, that's...
It just clicks.
You know, I would associate like, you know, there's 8 spots. And if you hit one of 8, great, awesome. I've qualified, great. But to be able to say, of that 8, I was #1, look, you know, Tifus of the world, you guys need to respect my game. I came in #1 in Europe. That's why I'm here in the finals. Like, let's go. It's going to be insane. Oh, man, I love Fortnite so much. 23 people left. In the current lobby, though, Monster hopping in Storm Circle 6. Now, guys, don't forget, we are hopping into Brazil games. These are live. For a moment there, we had the timer. We're about 1:30 or so left on queue times. Don't forget, it's 10 games.
An hour.
About 1:40. Okay, I was close. Darn. I was just off by 10. We have either that 3-hour window or 10 matches to play, whichever comes first. And then, obviously, we're going to, you know, make sure that, because don't forget, you can queue up even with those last few seconds and then play out an entire match. So we want to just make sure everyone has enough time to wrap up their games, get those standings out. But here we go. Peru, hop into with him. 100 ping. All right.
Things are unfolding right now as we speak. So this is a live situation here. Brazil, known for another region that you have to pick up heavy elimination, secure placement points. This is not just a win every game and make it through scenario. You need the elims as well. Nice shot right there from Peru. 100 ping. Connecting with the combat. Oh, bumps his noggin right there, and it's going to cost him a second launch pad.
Yeah, you definitely want to look up. You never want to make that happen because you waste a secondary launch pad, but it's okay. New rotation coming out. He's got to reassess. He's going to be able to get himself to safety. Now, he's already hit top 15, so everything's okay. We're still in the running here. But, you know, there's a lot of big names in the Brazil region. All the W7M boys. You see the red teams, right? You know, Snow, just to name one. You know, the X-Own King. So many talented players.
Seen Techno Viking kind of through.
Also from red, you know, man, there's so many players here that this spot could go to. Tries to challenge for the launch pad, doesn't get it, and says, Kin, I'm going to go ahead and shut you down. You took that launch pad, I need it, and that's what helps him make the rotation.
Ooh, but he does get hit by a combat. It's Ice who's in the high ground, so Peru's now found himself in a dire situation. He's got to start healing. Tony's underneath the build, putting some pressure up, but Tony gets melted by Code, Pulsari, and so does Gabriel. Just gets owned by Vanessa on the edge there. Clip Node now putting pressure down. We're going to hop into his perspective here as he's looking for this combat. That's 1, that's 2. Doesn't find a 3rd, but it's okay as he raises himself up another layer. He's trying to get a brief moment of peace in this crazy storm that he's in right here. He can't even heal. A nice little shot. Fran, he catches him in the toe. It's going to keep him in the game here.
This is huge, man. He's already on 8 eliminations. When we talk about elimination counters, especially on finals, 8 is massive. You know this player has been on a spree. And look at this. Clipnote looking to play it out as technically as possible, looking for these angles, waiting for people to turn their backs and send shots over. I think he's trying to go for the wall replace.
Yeah, he hit this guy for white, so he knows he can take this right here. He's got to be careful, though. Can't let his guard down. Turns around. It's Peru, who was in a weird spot before. He was very low on health. Turns that one around. Someone else goes down to the storm right there, so Clipno couldn't even get that. It's Vamos, who was still in the game. And Exakal holding up the high ground right now. What's he going to do? He's just walking on these builds. He doesn't have anything left. Neither does Clipno.
Oh, in the shadow form, he just obliterates the player. That was absolutely insane. But Clipnote is the victor of that game. Like, see what it did there? You maybe saw it, maybe didn't. It's okay. Next game, though, massive prop. Oh, you see
the clip and the this and the that.
I just rhymed. No big deal. I'm not a rapper. 44 players in the next game. Moving on in. Man, he popped that ghost right in the sky. Maybe you could call him a ghost buster.
Oh.
Shout outs to Jeff.
Right,
I made your joke. We're going to high five after this from production.
Take his joke?
Yeah, he wanted me to make the joke on broadcast, so I did it. Again, guys, hashtag Fortnite World Cup. Give production some love. There's so many people that work so hard to make this all possible, and they're all wonderful human beings that I honestly cannot give and express enough love for. So just say, hashtag Fortnite World Cup production team. You guys are awesome. That would mean the world to me and to them. And an hour and a half. I guess 36 minutes. I'm just going to be specific because everyone's always like, you're rounding, don't do that. I'm sorry, it's just how I work.
Yeah, Zeke, there's 1 hour and 36 exact minutes and 13 seconds at this current moment. Every second, every moment matters.
That's right. Here we go.
It's Fax trying to get this guy to come down. Combat redeploy. He gets behind the tree. Tree works out in his favor and shadow bomb.
You saw it. He was like, dude, I want this elim. I worked real hard. I need to find it. And they shadow bomb out. They're like, no.
Oh,
and in the end, it was the elimination credit. He must have fallen to the storm. Don't forget, with those recent changes, you got to be more careful, man. That 60-second timer, you can't play around with that.
Dude, he must have. I can only imagine in shadow form, if you wall hop off of a structure and it throws you back just a little bit. It must have been just enough to hold him into the storm.
Yeah.
And that's how Fax caught that elimination here. As the congestion, this is unreal for the Brazil region. You don't see it get this crazy, but 40 players basically on a non-moving zone right now. We're just approaching the first. Luco boy finds Mew Pao there, and Oni Tomori is putting in some pressure as well. Just kind of seeing what he can find here. Fax just waiting on by, trying to...
He's got the launch pad.
Holding it in the hand.
Yeah, he doesn't want to give it away, because if you put it down early, it does make that sound, and players know, all right, community launch pad, there you go. Great, you making sure that the storm overtakes it, so if anyone else wants to do it, they take the damage for it. Bro, we're...
You got to get elims here, and that's why Fax is being so proactive right now.
Something to point out, too, check the right side of your screen. The damage threshold, don't forget about that. Look at this number, though. 1,000 damage above the threshold. This guy